Ghana is about to roll on radio, online, and on TV. Which school are you rooting for? And which side do you represent? For or against the motion?
Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM as we bring to you the 6th edition of the Love FM High School Debate. Rally behind your alma mater as gallant young men and women from the various senior high schools in Ashanti elucidate their stance on matters of national interest.
The Love FM High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. This event is brought to you by a superstation, Love 99.5 FM, the Ashanti Regional SRC, and the Regional Directorate of Ghana Education Service Ashanti, and CHAS.
So the house, my opponents are here solely blaming chiefs, while these ignorant minders are alluding that the land belongs to them, therefore they shall do whatever they want with it. They even had the guts to tell the president that he can do nothing to stop them. So you see, these youths are clearly oblivious.
The biggest debate competition for senior high schools in Ghana is about to roll on radio, online, and on TV. Which school are you rooting for? And which side do you represent? For or against the motion?
Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM as we bring to you the 6th edition of the Love FM High School Debate. Rally behind your alma mater as gallant young men and women from the various senior high schools in Ashanti elucidate their stance on matters of national interest.
The Love FM High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. This event is brought to you by a superstation, Love 99.5 FM, the Ashanti Regional SRC, and the Regional Directorate of Ghana Education Service Ashanti, and CHAS.
My name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is
Love FM High School Debate. I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated.
Hi, my name is Melvin the Enigma of Love 99.5 FM, and also host of The Drive Time. It's about that time of the year once again, and we are inviting you to rally behind your alma mater for the Love FM High School Debate, as it rolls on radio and as well on social media, specifically on Facebook. Which school are you rallying for? Are you for or against the motion? Let's learn whilst these young men and women elucidate their stance on national issues. It is the Love FM High School Debate, the 6th edition.
Oh yeah, my lovely people, welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you once again. My name is Rebecca Swayze Mara, and I'm here to inform you the 2024 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate is about to roll. It's about to go down, and it promises to be exceptional this year. 24 schools battling it out for a single trophy. Who gets to end up with the bragging rights? We'll find out. Always keep your dials locked on Love 99.5 FM for more details.
Hello everybody, my name is Patricia Amabonsu, and I'm excited to share with you that the 6th edition of the Love FM High Schools Debates will be hitting your screens very soon. We're going to be live on your radio, Love 99.5 FM, and also on your multi-CV video box. All you need to do is to tune in to Joy Learning or Joy Prime, and you will get to catch every action right here on the Love FM High Schools Debate. We're also going to be live on social media. Search for LUV 99.5 FM with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. Wherever you are, don't go anywhere. It's going to be more fireworks on this year's edition of the Love FM High Schools Debate. See ya!
Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate. I admonish our viewers and our listeners.
We are welcoming you to another beautiful week here on the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate happening here at the Christian Service University in Kumasi. My name is Patricia Mabonsu, and today we are going to see Contest 7 and Contest 8 of the preliminary stage of this particular competition. I'd like to let you know that so far we have some state schools that have qualified to the main stage of this competition, and they include Adventist Senior High School, Upon Memorial Senior High School, Anglican SHS Kumasi, or St. Chiche Senior High School, Kumasi High, and also St. Hubert Seminary SHS. These are the schools that have made it to the main stage. Now we are live on Joy Prime, Joy Learning on your multi-TV video box, and also live on radio, Love 99.5 FM. Take your phones and also search for us on Facebook and YouTube with LUV 99.5 FM. We are happy to also tell you that we're doing this in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and also the Christian Service University. Now, today, we are going to see Contest 7 between Opoku Ware School and Church of Christ Senior High School. And they are going to argue on the motion, community service should be made mandatory to SHS graduates. We have Opoku Ware School arguing for the motion and Church of Christ arguing against the motion. And so wherever you are, just draw closer to your TV sets and your radio sets, and of course to your mobile devices. Let's gauge the mood even before the competition starts. We are going to speak right now to our teachers and supporters who have brought these kids on board for us to have the competition. And so let's have them right now and have the conversation with them. And I'm going to start off with, of course, my students here. Let me start off with this gentleman. Please draw closer to me. You are live on radio and TV and also social media. Introduce yourself to us and let us know what we should expect from your school.
I'm Augustine Teku, the Deputy Head Boy for Church of Christ Senior High School, and also the local SLC Financial Secretary. Okay. Opoku Ware School being a grade A school doesn't mean they should feel superior. No. The thing is, we are going to feel the superior, and also today's contest, we are going to win, but not the losers. We are going to win. The thing is, we are going to break them into pieces, as if we are breaking a glass. That's all about it.
Okay, so he says they're going to break us like into glasses. Let's speak to this gentleman here, and I see Kerry written on his shirt. Is that your real name?
Yes, please. I'm Bar Kerry, the Deputy Head Boy and the Writers President. Okay, I will say we are not here to talk too much. Empty barrels make noise. And there's this saying, acta non verba, which means action but no words. So please just anticipate and watch out for us.
Okay, so you've heard from the students. Let's speak to the patrons who have brought these wonderful kids to debate today. I'm just going to continue from Opoku Ware School, and you heard what your the student from the other side, that's Chris, said. Do you have any words for him?
So, my sister, we are really poised for action. And as the Bible says, the horses are prepared, but it is the Lord that gives victory. And I know that God has already granted us victory. For some time, we have not been on board. And it has necessitated that we come on board this time to prove to the world what we do best. So we expect nothing than a victory today.
Please introduce yourself to us.
I am Mr. Daniel Sapon, the writers and debaters patron.
Okay, so from Opoku Ware, let's move finally to Church of Christ. This gentleman here is also...
I'm Desmond Owusu team. I'm part of the WDS team at Church of Christ Senior High. Okay, since my colleague quoted a Bible verse, let me also quote one. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 50 to 53. It talks about David and Goliath. Everybody knows Akatechi, they are one of the best schools in Ghana. But we are here to tell them that when you go to Ejesu Adadientem, there is a school over there called Church of Christ Senior High School. They are here with their wives. I feel so sad for them. And at the end of the day, they are going to cry. That's what I'm telling them. Okay.
Okay, so I'm sure it's going to be showdown already here at the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School debate happening here at the Christian Service University. My name is Patricia. David is in the auditorium right now. We're crossing over to him for him to start. Of course, this is the platform that gives the young ones an opportunity to debate on national issues. Thank you very much. We'll be back with more here on the show.
And indeed, I've taken over from the auditorium of the Christian Service University. A round of applause for our hosts this afternoon. And like Patricia rightly said, we'd like to say a big thank you to our supporters in the Ashanti Regional GES, of course, the Ashanti Regional SRC, and also the CHAS. Put your hands together for all of them for supporting us to bring to you the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. We'd also like to say a very big thank you to our key sponsors. I'll be mentioning them in a bit. But for your information, we're live on television on Joy Prime. We're also live on television on Joy Learning. We are equally live on social media like Facebook and, of course, YouTube, and live on radio. Love 99.5. Now, there's something beautiful happening this afternoon. For those of you listening to us on radio on Love 99.5, I would also encourage you to join us on Facebook. Facebook on Love 99.5 FM. Now, when you join us on Facebook, like our page and share it as well. But the most important thing is this. You know the two schools that will be doing battle this afternoon, the first two schools. That is the Church of Christ and Opoku Ware School. If you join us on Facebook, you tell us which of the schools you think is going to win this contest. Having done that, you tell us if you want to go and watch that game this evening between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Central African Republic, just say, I want to go and watch after your prediction. Once you do that, we're going to send you a message, and then you go get a free ticket to watch the game. How about that? So we're giving out free tickets for you to watch that game between the Black Stars and the Central African Republic later this very evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say a very big thank you to our main sponsor, Pepsodent. Now, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is what I want to talk about. Every time we eat, food and sugars get trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and sometimes foul breath. Now, brushing your teeth with the right Pepsodent, that of course is Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, protects you, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with profluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter comes in a very affordable 175 gram, that is a big pack for the family. It also comes in 120 gram, that is the Jaqua pack, the 65 gram, and the 12 gram sachet pack. The Ghana Dental Association recommends Pepsodent. Pepsodent allows you to talk to a dentist for free. You can call toll-free 0800-161-000. Pepsodent, every smile indeed matters. And at this point in time, I'd like to see those of you in this auditorium, can you give me a smile, a Pepsodent smile? Yeah, I like the Pepsodent smile. You have something special for me later. Now, let's talk about the Jackson University College. Now, do you desire to work or study abroad? Are you worried about the best place to receive tuition for the IELTS in Ghana? Well, the Jackson Institute of Innovation and Leadership, that is JIL, is here to help. JIL, in collaboration with the British Council, IELTS, and IDP, presents a golden opportunity for SHS leavers, university graduates, and professionals to register and study IELTS. Their course options include IELTS Academic, IELTS General, and Life Skills. They also have in-person as well as online class options, so enroll today. For your children aged between 5 and 15, they've got something special for them. especially those who are fluent in French or wish to learn French. Jill has an amazing package for them to study in Quebec, Canada. Now, their rates are unbeatable, and they will also assist with all the necessary traveling documents. Speak to them today. Bigo is also here as one of our main sponsors. Now, everywhere make hot, Baby Ware Sch, but still man for enjoy. Boys, boys, girls, girls, mummies and daddies for your parties, your funerals, your family day out, and of course, all the other social gatherings. Grab your favorite Bigo drink. Bigo comes in cola, grape, orange, coconut, pineapple, apple, lemon, and cocktail flavors. Get a chilled, affordable bottle of Bigo today at any supermarket or in traffic. Bigo is another quality product from Trillium Industrial Company Limited. Bigo, big, refreshing moments. Having said that, let me tell you about Cowbell. Now, there are several there's several drinks in terms of milk on the market. The best milk on the market is Cowbell. It contains vitamins A, C, D, and K, which is, their unique secret essential nutritional formula that nourishes minds, bodies, and dreams of growing champions and the whole family. Cowbell is high in protein and calcium. Now, they have something for everyone, and they come in coffee, strawberry, choco, banana, mocha, and coconut flavors. Enjoy the finest taste in milk by enjoying Cowbell. Let's put our hands together once again for this very beautiful tutorial. We're sitting in the Christian Service University. We say a big thank you to them. And they are admitting students for the 2024-2025 academic year. Now, undergraduate and master's programs are offered at CSU with morning, evening, and weekend schedules for all students. CSU offers half scholarship for prospective students with an aggregate of 6 to 15. And you can find CSU at Star Junction in Kumasi here at Santasi Roundabout. In a bit, the first contest between Opoku Ware School and Church of Christ will come your way. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce to you our panel of judges. But before I do the introduction of our panel of judges, I'd like to invite Patricia Amabunsu. Oh, you're to my left. I haven't seen you yet. How are you doing, my dear?
How do you do?
All right, I'm well as well. So Patricia is here. She's got very important messages to share with all of us. Let's all pay attention. And let's take the key points out there and make use of them. Patricia, over to you.
Sure, and this competition is still sponsored and supported by New Generation Investment Services, offering us managed investment, assisting with our pension plan, and managing our Tier 2 and Tier 3 pensions. Secure your future today with our Nidaswap Mutual Fund, NGRS Money Market, and also private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors today, and of course, your investment goals and aspirations will be met by them. Remember that the NGRS have been licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission as well as the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. NGRS, we say, achieving excellent results on your investment. We also like to say thank you to Dynamis Plus, providing schools, homes, churches, hospital, mosques, and many other institutions with PVC interior and exterior security doors, waterproof doors, and fireproof doors that can actually withstand fire for up to 2 hours. Now build your most cherished and enchanting spaces with our quality, customized, beautiful, and original furniture coming all the way from Turkey. Dynamis Plus, we say we give you real value for money. Also, Tradewinds Chemists are here to support us. They are the producers of your most effective anti-malarial drug, which is Traumatem. Traumatem is an artemisinin-based combination product which contains artemether and lumefantrine. Now, the 24 blister pack of Traumatem is a 6-dose full course treatment which has been endorsed by the FDA. It's available in all pharmacies and chemical shops nationwide. Consult your doctor if after 3 days your symptoms still persist. Let's also say thank you to Otuasekan Royal Bank. They are floating shares for just 50 pesos per share, and all you need is a minimum of 100 shares, which is going for just 50 Ghana cedis. And so please, when you go home, tell mommy and daddy to buy you shares from Otuasekan Royal Bank. Now they can also open an infant account for you at Otuasekan Royal Bank. And tell mommy and daddy also to go there for their import and agri loans with the most affordable rates ever. Now the good thing is that our shares yield very high returns. And so when you buy it, you know that you have done the right thing. Locate us at Kofiase, Mampong, Ejura, Sepe Abofo, Macro and Ken Kenso, and Dr. Mensah. And before I hand it over to David again, let's say thank you to DBS Industries, your reputable name in quality roofing. They are here with goodies and, of course, the best deals for everybody in the construction industry. New and existing customers are still enjoying a huge discount on all our Aluzinc roofing sheets. Visit our offices today in Kumasi and Accra for free estimates. DBS, we say what? Roofing Papa Pa Fie. David, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia, and a love for her. Put your hands together for Patricia Amabonsu. Now, she'll be coming your way later with some comments on social media as what people are saying when the debate properly begins. Aketeche. Hey, Charlie. Aketeche. Are you scared of your opponents? You sure? So let's try one more time. Aketeche. Aketeche. I hear you. Chrisek? Chrisek? All right, so our panel of judges are already seated. There are 3 in number. I like the ratio for this afternoon. Oftentimes there's 2 men and a lady and all that. This time around we have 2 ladies and a gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, please. One of the judges for this afternoon's contest is Professor Osefosu Anthony. Many refer to him as OFAG. Now, he's a professor in economics. He holds a PhD in economics. He's also a former head of the Department of Economics, KNUST. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for one of our judges for this afternoon's competition. Moving on to Judge 2. Well, she's a principal teacher with the KNUST Primary School. Her name is Mrs. Beatrice Akosia Andrews. She's also right here with us this afternoon. Show her some love for me. The final judge is Dr. Lucy Bonku, Senior Lecturer at the Department of Liberal Studies, Kumasi Technical University. And for your information, she's taught for over 30 years in literature, English and English language, and communication skills as well. Mama Lou is the name, but please, you students will have to call her Dr. Lucy Bonku. With that out of the way, I'd like to give you the rules of engagement for this afternoon's competition. This one goes to the debaters, the patrons, and to all and sundry. Here are the rules. Now, the principal speaker on the affirmative team, principal speaker presents arguments in support of the motion. The principal speaker has 10 minutes. Now, the principal speaker on the opposing team also presents arguments opposing the resolution and equally has 10 minutes. The second speaker on the affirmative team presents further arguments in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition speaker, and the person has 7 minutes. Now, the second speaker on the other side as opposing team also will present further arguments against the resolution, identifies further areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker, and also has 7 minutes. Now, the principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statements or remarks to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if there are any. And that person would have 5 minutes. The principal speaker on the opposing team also comes with closing statements to their arguments without adding any new information, and also use the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if necessary. Will also equally have 5 minutes. Now, there cannot be any interruptions. Speakers must wait for their turns before they speak. All principal speakers, either on the affirmative team or the opposing team, should raise only, and I repeat, only 5 points or less. Now, all supporting speakers, either on the affirmative team or the opposing team, should raise only 3 points or less. Now, speakers should be very audible and ensure clarity in their presentation. We'd like to hear you when you have the microphone and have the floor and you are debating. Now, other external rules include: he who asserts must prove. Now, in order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with enough facts and evidence. Facts and evidence must be accurate. Examples or visual materials are permissible, and once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use if so desired. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits for fact support, and in rebuttals, the debater rebutting may also, ask any constructive and clear questions that has a direct bearing on the point raised. The one rebutting must confine him or herself to questions and not make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. Supporters from both sides are to exercise discipline, not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate debaters in any form. Failure will attract deduction of marks from their team. Moving on, all debaters must ensure clarity in their argument. Debaters must respect time. Now, if you are bailed out, you must end your presentation, else you lose some marks. Now, note, majority decision or score results from the judges carries the day. So what we're saying is that we have a majority decision to be made, or we also may have a unanimous decision. Unanimous means that all 3 judges are voting for a particular school. Majority means that 2 out of the 3 are voting for a particular school that a school might have won. Now, that's in terms of the scoring. Now, note, majority decision or the score, like I mentioned, if it's a unanimous or a majority decision, that stands without any challenge. Now, in an event of a tie, schools will be given a motion to contest once again within 2 days. Reporting time for a contest is at 12 p.m. each day. Failure to abide will lead to disqualification of the said school. Now, all issues or concerns, I repeat, all issues or concerns should be addressed to the producers of the program or the event organizers, not the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I think that all is almost set for us to bring to you Contest 7 in the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. Akateche. 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 Please stand for us. And as they stand, please show them some love. A round of applause for students from Opoku Ware School. Now, I've asked you to stand because at this point in time, we'd like for you to sing for us your school anthem. Now, you know the drill already. I'd ask that you clear your throat if you think you have some, funny phlegms in your throat. Clear your throat. And if you're ready, Collins will help you by starting it all off for you by playing your school anthem. All you need to do is to sing along. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? On 3 then. 1, 2, go. Akateche for you. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we'd like to call on the debaters to man the podium and take their seats. Principal speaker for Opoku Ware School this afternoon is Owusu Ansa Michael Nana. Ably supported by Osei Williams Boateng. And they are the debaters representing Opoku Ware School for this afternoon's contest. Contest 7 is what it is. Chrisek. Chrisek. Chrisek, please stand. Like I said a while ago, you were here with us somewhere last year, so you know the drill as well. You are standing because we want you to sing for us a school anthem. And like I always say, there's power in an anthem. So sing it with pride and joy to encourage your debaters to come mount the podium, grab the microphone, and give a very good account of themselves and for your school as well. If you're ready, good to go. He says yes. So you follow Collins in the lead and sing the full anthem for us. So if you're ready on 3, 1, 2, go. Students.
status of the school. Arise, 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 Christian students. Arise, the status of the school. Arise, arise, embrace the status of your mother's womb, Christian. So arise, 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 embrace the status of your mother's womb, Christian.
Okay. And I saw somebody conducting while the song was being sung. Somebody was conducting. A very special personality amongst us this afternoon was conducting as well. All right. Opoku Ware, you had your turn already, so please settle for me. Opoku Ware, settle down, please. Settle down. Thank you very much. We'll give you the opportunity to do your thing. Don't worry at all. We'll give you time. So let's show some love by putting hands together and welcoming debaters from Church of Christ. Principal speaker is Achampon Blessing, and the supporting speaker is Precious Ekia Owusua. Oh, make some noise if you want to. Make some noise if you want to. Yeah. It's allowed. It's allowed. So whilst I was going through the rules of engagement, I talked about the fact that the principal speakers would have 10 minutes, supporting speakers will have 7 minutes, and then when they have to do the concluding remarks, they have 5 minutes. Now we have an accurate timekeeper in our midst, as always. His name is King Davis. King, how are you doing? Yeah, he says he's well. Now, if you have 3 minutes to go on your time, be it the 7 minutes or the 10 minutes, this is what you will hear. This is not doom, so don't worry. Okay, I think we're good to go. So that's what you hear. If you have 3 minutes to go on your time, and if your time is entirely up and you have to stop debating, this is what you will hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the debaters have taken their seats. And the motion for this afternoon's contest is community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. I'll take it again. Community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. Opoku Ware School, they are for the motion. Church of Christ, they are against the motion. Madam Chair, with your permission, can we start the debate? She's given her green light. Now, like I said, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, I encourage more people to join us on Facebook this afternoon because we've got free tickets to give to you so you can go watch that game between the Black Stars of Ghana and, of course, the Central African Republic at 7 p.m. tonight. All you have to do is when you join us on Facebook, the first contest is going to be between Opoku Ware School and Church of Christ. You tell us which school you think is going to win this contest and just drop a comment and say, I want a free ticket. We'll send it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's call on Opoku Ware School to start the debate for us this afternoon.
To you, the ever-wise chair, board, the new partial panel of judges, a great timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished guests, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Michael Nana Owusu Ansam, a student of the outstanding Opoku Ware School to which I am representative. The chair, the motion before the House here today is, and I quote, community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. And I stand to raise my voice vehemently as a principal speaker in full affirmation of this motion. For clear argument and development, the chair, permit me to explain some key words in the motion and also eliminate all forms of misconceptions which may arise relative to the motion stated above. According to Google, community service refers to any unpaid services done by an individual or a group of people to the benefit of their own community. It further defines mandatory as something that you are required to do compulsorily, either by law or by custom. And when we talk of our senior high school graduates, we mean the individuals that have completed the second cycle of education. Now, the chair, before we proceed, let us understand that we are not arguing that senior high school graduates should be denied their right to the tertiary level of education. Also, it would be a false ideology to think that senior high school graduates do not have the necessary skills to engage in community services, since community services such as reading, cleaning the gutters, and providing assistance to the poor and needy do not require any huge amount of sophisticated knowledge. Rather, the foundation upon which this motion is being proposed to the House today is that during the immediate period preceding the completion of senior high schools, majority of the graduates, which forms a significant proportion of our new youth and labor force, lies idle. And therefore, it would be a wise and a necessary decision for the government to initiate a mechanism which is going to tap into this idle labor force in order to enhance our development. And that mechanism would be to mandate community services for these senior high school graduates. So without wasting much time, let us take our first step into this new journey of knowledge, taking into consideration why mandating community service for senior high school graduates is going to benefit the graduates themselves and the nation as a whole. Point 1, the chair, mandating community service for senior high school graduates is necessary because it would instill a sense of responsibility into the younger generation and enhance their personal growth and development. The chair, why is this true? This is true because community service has the ability of instilling a sense of direction and of purpose into the younger generation. It would help the younger generation understand that their action can actually have an impact on the life of others and that their contributions are actually realized and valued by the community. The chair, community service offers a platform for these young graduates to acquire important life skills such as leadership, communication, and teamwork, which are all very, very vital for personal growth and development. Moreover, these young graduates are going to get to understand the needs and the struggles of other individuals, and this is going to build a feeling of compassion within them. This feeling of compassion is going to make them want to make a positive impact on the lives of others, and the desire to make a positive impact on the life of others is going to make them conscious of their actions and their duties, and this is going to make them emerge as responsible individuals of the nation. A research conducted by www.brainy.com has proven that, and I quote, all responsible individuals are engaging in community services, and therefore it would be a necessary decision to incorporate our young graduates into community services, since it's going to give them a sense of national duty and make them responsible individuals. Point 2, the chair, mandating community service for senior high school graduates is necessary because it is going to help us reduce the rate of social vices within our community. The chair, the house, an idle mind, they say, is the workshop of the devil, and an idle mind comes when an individual does literally nothing. The chair, it will surprise you to know that according to www.modernghana.com, a lot of Ghanaian SHS graduates, and by a lot, I mean over 100,000 SHS graduates each and every year do literally nothing at home. Because of this, they are easily influenced by their peers to engage in social vices such as bullying and vandalism, which is to the detriment of the society, just to do away with their idleness and their boredom. Therefore, by mandating community service to these senior high school graduates, not only are we going to help the individuals, but also we are going to help the community attain a sound peace of mind when it comes to issues concerned with social vices, since those individuals who would otherwise have engaged in the social vices will now not be able to engage in, since they'll be too preoccupied. The chair, even www.thenationnewsonline.net has approved that, and I quote, idleness is a great enhancer of illicit affairs, which includes social vices. Therefore, by incorporating our youth into community services, we are going to help break down this idleness factor, and this is going to help reduce the rate of social vices within our community. Point 3, the chair, mandating community service for senior high school graduates is necessary because it is going to help us solve our sanitation problems. The chair, the house, let us cast our mind back to the important avenues of Ghana, such as the KJTR market, the Central market, and the Makola market. What do we see at these places? We can see that these places are drowned with silt. Why? It is not that the government is not aware of the situation over there. The government is clearly aware, but we can attribute this situation to the fact that there is inadequate sanitation workers within the sanitation ministry. The chair, even the World Health Organization of the United Nations organizations approves that those sanitation workers are playing a vital role within our community, yet they are invisible. That means they are inadequate. Thereby, by mandating community service for these senior high school graduates, we are going to solve the loophole caused by inadequate sanitation services in our community, and that is also going to help us achieve our aim. That is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said that he wants Ghana to be the cleanest country in the whole of West Africa. Point 4, the chair, senior high school graduate is necessary because this initiative has already proven successful in other countries. The chair, the House, we wouldn't be the first country to mandate community service for our senior high school graduates. Already in other countries, they have mandated community service for their senior high school graduates, and they are reaping the good fruit of their decision. The chair, as we are speaking now, when you move to the Philippines, they've initiated the senior high school immersion, which is incorporating the senior high school graduates into community services, and it is recorded that their senior high school graduates are getting practical knowledge. Also, when you go to South Korea, they have a policy called the Voluntary Youth Service, and they have initiated this policy incorporating the senior high school graduates into community services, and this is also helping the senior high school graduates to attain a sense of responsibility. The chair, a popular saying from Brian Tracy, the author of the book Create Your Own Future, says, and I quote, "If we are to do exactly what successful people do and follow all that they did, then nothing is going to hinder us from achieving the same effect that they achieved. In a similar way, if we are going to do exactly what these successful countries has done and follow their all footpaths, then nothing is going to hinder us from achieving the same effect that they have achieved." Point 5, the chair, mandating community service for senior high school graduates is necessary because it would help us tap into our idle labor force within the community. The chair, the House, the President of Ghana, in his 2016 campaign once said, and I quote, "Yet is Kaso, now so accommodate." This statement of his is not just literal. What he was meaning is that Ghana has the resources, but we are suffering. We have the land, we have the capital, and we have the labor force. Yes, we are suffering because we are not tapping into this labor force. The chair, by mandating community service for senior high school graduates, we are going to tap into this ideal labor force and ensure efficient use of the labor force. And as each and every economist sitting here will tell you, an efficient use in the labor force would mean that a push in our production possibility frontier outward. And when our production possibility frontier pushes outward, it would mean that we've achieved economic growth and development. The chair, according to www.eatingworld.com, a lot of fruits and vegetables are rotting because there is inadequate workers to harvest them. The chair, when you go to the eastern region right now, there are a lot of cocoa that needs to be harvested, and they are rotting because the workers there are insufficient. Therefore, by mandating community service to these senior high school graduates, we will get enough workers to go and harvest this cocoa and increase our rate of export, which would increase our rate of foreign exchange and increase our rate of government revenue. The chair, isn't this an advantage for us? Of course it is. The chair, before I resume my seat, let me answer some few doubtful questions that my opponent might want to ask. My opponent might want to ask that why should we make it mandatory for senior high school graduates to engage in community services? Well, we should make it mandatory to ensure that each and every senior high school graduate is actually doing their civic responsibility and that they are not going to benefit from the hard work of other individuals. They might also want to ask that how is the government going to ensure the implementation of such a policy? Well, the government would have to set up
Force is not a great motivator. Choice is. The best way of getting people to do something is making them willing to do it and not imposing it on them. We are not against community services. We are not here to condemn it or make you look inferior. No. But for it to be made mandatory for senior high school graduates is what we disagree with. The chairperson, board and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kofi Champon, an intellectual principal speaker speaking against the motion quote, community services should be made mandatory for senior high school graduates, unquote. For the betterment of my lovely audience, allow me to explicate some key terms as used in the motion. Once again, as and when necessary, exhibits will be tended to back our claims. Community service refers to unpaid work performed by an individual or group of people for the benefits and betterment of their communities. Examples include communal labor, public education, just to mention a few. Mandatory from the Cambridge Dictionary refers to something that must be done purposely because the law states that it is necessary, and if not observed, one would face a penalty. Senior high school graduates refers with individuals who are done with their second cycle education and are mostly between the ages of 18 to 20. So the motion simply means the acts of engaging in communal activities to foster community development willingly should no longer be from a free will, but should be made compulsory for all students who are done with the second cycle education, which we strongly disagree with. The chairperson, while this service may be an admirable pursuit, making it compulsory for senior high school graduates will not be the most effective way to foster a culture of service and civic engagement. We therefore present our underpinning arguments against the said motion. Our premier point in support of our stance is that making these services compulsory for high school graduates will undermine volunteerism potential. Volunteerism, according to Wikipedia, refers to an act performed willingly by an individual, sometimes for community purposes, denoted by personal motivations and free will, and not for the fear of punishment. The high school graduates can choose to volunteer for their communities, but making it a compulsion negates the meaning of community services. According to Great Facer, the purpose of this service is to show leadership as an individual and also to express your passion to helping your community and those in need. When a mandatory system is implemented, there will be no value for it since people will be compelled to help in their communities. According to the Bureau of Labor, majority of people who engage in this service are tertiary school graduates. There are a number of them who do it from their free will. Others also see it as a requirement for them to fulfill before they can graduate. So making this service compulsory will undermine volunteerism potential. There is no way to distinguish between who wants to help and who is being forced to help. Therefore, making this service compulsory will devalue and deteriorate in quality. If making the service compulsory will devalue it, why then should we make it so? We strongly believe that the best way to get the best out of this service is making it optional, not compulsory. So my second point, the vice chairperson, making the service mandatory to senior high school graduates may lead to lack of genuine engagement. Genuine engagement refers to physical, physiological, and emotional dedication to a cause. Mandatory community service for senior high school graduates may seem like a well-intentioned policy at first glance, but it ultimately leads to lack of genuine engagement, undermining the sole purpose of this service. An article published in 2018 by Kumasi has said that forcing students to perform something against their will and without connection to the cause may lead to lack of genuine engagement. According to the Culture Monkey, the heartbeat of every organization lies in the engagement of the workforce. So if the services are made compulsory, there will be no value since people will be working with disadvantages. This will serve as a disconnection, which will sow seeds of discontent. Madam House, my opponents were talking about teamwork. Okay. Imagine a team where passion has taken a back seat. Just imagine. A team where enthusiasm is being replaced by indifference. That's the whole landscape of making this service compulsory, since majority will be working with dissatisfaction. So if the main motive behind this service is to foster community development, then making it compulsory will not be the right policy for this assignment. So my third point, the vice chairperson, making the service mandatory will infringe on personal rights and freedoms. Forcing individuals to perform community service against their will violates their rights and autonomy. Community service is a voluntary act. By the moment it is being made compulsory, it becomes equivalent to forced labor. I know my opponent are to rebut me that when the government imposes something on someone, it doesn't become forced labor. But please, for information, those are just deceptive outward appearances. And the motion didn't limit us to only Ghana. So that argument of yours do not hold water. Forced labor is a violation of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That's according to UN. According to the International Labour Organization, forced labor is all work or service demanded from any person under the threat of a penalty for which the person has not rendered himself willingly or voluntarily. If these services are made mandatory for senior high school graduates, they will be required to perform a number of services with the threat of a punishment. So, whether the person is willing to do it or unwilling, he or she might do it to avoid punishment. In Rwanda, for instance, the graduates are made to perform at least a year of service. They call it service à la nation. Madam Jackson, in a situation whereby a person fails to perform this service, he or she is made to pay a fine of $50 to $60. That's not all. He or she will be ineligible to pursue higher education. And so, he or she will also be termed as a criminal because this is a criminal offense. You are saying, hey, this is what the UN defines as forced labor. So I don't think human rights infringement is part of the principles of mandatory community services. So if making it compulsory would negate its meaning, then I think it would be better for the Akatechi to join us to debunk the motion than to sit here and do cost 90 work. To my fourth and favorite point, the chairperson, making the services compulsory for high school graduates will lead to misled priorities. Mandatory services for high school graduates will divert their focus away from their future goals. Future career goals refers to professional objectives that one aims to achieve in years to come. Examples are the doctors, lawyers, nurses, just to mention a few. Certain services do not conform to the future careers of others. Let me give you a scenario. I'm a high school graduate who affects general science and want to become a mechanical engineer. If I am forced to join my community's EPA to plant trees, distill gutters, and give education environmental protection. How will this improve upon my engineering skills? I will learn skills relating to environmental protection, making me lose interest in engineering. That's how the whole concept is. The skills given during this service, as my opponent mentioned, make one forget the skills or make one think that it's what he or she can do better, hence diverting more hair from his passion. Countries who do this service are complaining about their focus being diverted after the service. In South Africa, a survey conducted by the graduates revealed that 45% feel that this service distracted them from their future careers. And also, 30 reported that it delayed their entry into the workforce. If these countries who have seen it all relating to mandatory community services are inveighing against this, then we shouldn't even try to venture it. Finally, the FOI chairperson, making this service compulsory will lead to limited flexibilities. Limited flexibilities in the context of mandatory service refers to the inability to accommodate individual circumstances, needs, and preferences. Making the service mandatory will be a one-size-fits-all approach. A one-size-fits-all approach in the sense that the strategies of the service assumes everyone has the same needs and preferences, and therefore a single approach is being applied to all of you. Now, the house, pay attention. Please raise your hand and carefully observe your fingers. Oh, just raise them and observe your fingers. What do you see? Are they the same? They are not the same. This demonstration means that each and everyone has his or her own personal issues, and a single solution may not be effective for everyone. We have in our possession a research material which indicates the various issues senior high school graduates go through. Some may have financial problems, others too may have family obligations, making it difficult for them to go by these community services. So making the service compulsory will not account for individual students' interest and consent as to whether a majority of them can perform the service as required. This will lead to oversimplification. That's one. Inefficiency, two. And inequity. So if these three keywords, that is oversimplification, inefficiency, and inequity, are not in the books of community services, then I think they'll run to start calling for help than to be sitting here and deceiving the whole house. The chairperson permits me to refuse some assertions made by my opponents. That's a high time fallacy. The Orients claim that making these services mandatory will reduce social vices. Please, for information, social vices like bullying and vandalism is mainly caused by the moral training one gained from home or school, and not idleness. So if in your school, you are being taught bullying in your school, it doesn't mean being idle can increase social vices. This doesn't threaten a morally trained house. They also argue that this service has proven successful in other countries. If one or two countries are benefiting from this service, it means they're having better policies, and so they can't be the yardstick for making these services compulsory in all countries. Another point they raised, that was the fallacy, was that they said Ghana has the resource, but we are suffering because we can't tap into the labor force. And they made some assertion, yet Tisikaso, and so come in. If you want to tap into the human force, then we should employ the already trained labor force and not employing these graduates for, I think, a year or two, which after that they'll be unemployed. The chairperson and the guest house. It is with this that we call on all and sundry to join hands with us to debunk the set motion. Thank you.
If a 13-year-old boy is asked by his traveling parents to take care of his younger siblings at home, does that constitute child labor or forceful labor? Certainly not. It is what I would choose to call home service. The chair, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. Good afternoon. The motion before the House today is that, quote, community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates, unquote. Vehemently and studently right I, Osei Williams Boateng, a proud supporting speaker, in full affirmation to the motion. The chair, the House. Clear elaborations have been made by my principal speaker. Therefore, to waste no time, I will proceed with my argumentations. Point one, making community service mandatory would promote patriotism. Patriotism is the love for one's country and the willingness to defend it. The chair, the house. Most of us here have made up our minds to travel outside of this country the moment we are done with our second cycle education. And my dear opponents aren't excluded. The chair, the house. I know my opponents are going to say that if I am not interested in traveling outside of this country, I should withdraw myself from the winning prize of Love FM High School debate. But my opponents, I have a popular saying for you. Therefore, the chair, the only reasons why they have these rooted in their minds is because they have no love and interest for this country. But if these individuals are made to engage in community service, they are going to identify the various problems of their communities, and through that experience, understand how things work. The chair, the house, this would increase their love, and also they would find better solutions to these problems. And not to talk about the attachment theory, which is a part of psychology, which talks about how human beings get attracted or attached to things that they are close to. The chair, the house. If these individuals are made to work in their communities, they are going to develop this psychological attachment theory and therefore have the willingness to defend their country. Point two, the chair. Community service being mandatory would reduce brain drain. Brain drain to the layman is simply the movement of highly qualified and skilled people from their places to other places to seek greener pastures. The chair, let us take this scenario into consideration. Imagine a soon-to-be couple where the man and the woman contribute their resources to build a house. The chair, do you think the woman will take it very lightly for the man to go for another woman and therefore benefit from the house? Certainly not. Similarly, when individuals are made to contribute their quota to the development of their communities, they wouldn't want anyone to benefit from their hard work. And as it is human nature, I hope my dear opponents won't deny this, that it is only human nature for us to always want to benefit from our hard work. Therefore, this is going to make the students want to actually enjoy from all that they have done for their communities. The chair, the house. There is a Bible saying that states, and I quote, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 10, if anyone would not work, neither should he eat. I know my opponents are going to say that this is child labor or this will create a burden for the graduates. But my opponents, just as the Bible says, and your school being built on Bible categories, I hope you would understand that if anyone would not work, the person should not made to be eat. Therefore, the chair, this is going to reduce the movement of these highly qualified people from their communities or their country in a whole and reduce brain drain in this community. Point three, making it compulsory would help build good working ethics. The chair, the house. Let us take another scenario into consideration. Imagine a child who was not supervised or who was not how to work. You can all see how the child is going to grow up and work just as a drunkard, or even in the worst case of them all, won't be able to work. When these individuals are made to engage in community service, they would inculcate certain habits as responsibility, time management, and a whole lot. The chair, the house. This will help them exhibit these attributes when they become leaders. The deed is done and the deed is work. Therefore, permit me to rebut some fallacious fallacies raised by my opponent in this assertion. He said that for his point one, it will undermine volunteering spirit. By my opponents, if this initiative is made optional, how many students or how many graduates do you think are going to willingly do it? None of them, I tell you so. Secondly, they said it is going to reduce genuine engagement. That is why my principal speaker, thank you very much, said that initiative will be set by the government to ensure the proper enhancement of this initiative. They also said a whole lot of points from their point one to simply their point three, which is all talking about the same thing, forceful labor. The chair, the house. I am sure my opponents are part of the same people who rebutted against the free SH initiative, and yet they are benefiting from it. Negative energy should not be attached to certain initiative, especially ones to improve upon development. My opponents may also made the assertion that it is going to mislead them from their future priorities. Passion is from the heart and from the mind and can never be swayed by anybody or manipulated. Let me tell you, if you find a girl that you are in love with and have a passion for, not even your mother can tell you to leave her alone. Certainly not. The chair, the house. They also made the assertion in their fifth point that it has limited flexibilities. My opponent, that is why you were supported by the government for 3 solid years in this free SHS initiative, and just taking about 3 months of your time to service your own communities, to improve upon the problems that they are facing. You do not want to do it because of your own family issues. Such ungratefulness, wickedness. Oh, my opponents. The Charter House, they also rebutted our points on the social vices. But let me give you this popular saying again, that the devil gives work to the idle hand. Therefore, if these students have graduated and they are doing nothing at home, what do you think the devil will do to them? All they will do is stick bets, drink alcohol, or engage in other unsocietal acts. The Charter House, they also said it cannot be a yardstick just because other countries are doing it. If other countries are doing it and it cannot be a yardstick for us, why is it that Ghana joins cooperative international bodies, therefore to learn from them political, economic, and social ways of doing things? The House, it is clearly that my opponents do not even know what this motion sticks to say to the House. The Charter House, let me tell my opponents this. My opponents, if you think it cannot be a yardstick for us to learn from other countries, why are we still practicing democracy, even though it has its many flaws? I put it to you. Come and answer it, my dear supporting speaker. The Chair of the House. All the assertions made by my principal speaker and myself are clear. Thank you.
Community service is an admirable pursuit, but making it mandatory is not the most effective way to foster a culture of civic engagement. The chair, wise and impartial panel of educators, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, I am Precious Akuya Owusuwa, the supporting speaker against the motion, quote and unquote, community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. The fact, exhibit, and substantial information presented by my principal speaker were based on why community service should not, I repeat, why community service should not be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. The House permits me to add up to our argument to my first point, the chair. Community service should not be made mandatory to senior high school graduates because of financial and resource barriers. Frank Anderson once said, and I quote, "He who pays the fiddler calls the tune," unquote. I am not a slave. I repeat, I am not a slave. If the government want me to do community service, he must pay me a fair wage for my work. Skill me of the notion that I am bound to give away my time and labor because I cannot. I repeat, I cannot feed myself, pay my taxes, meet my obligation through slave labor. This has clearly stated that humans, especially the youth, are profit conscious. Therefore, there should be an incentive in the form of offering of financial rewards to recognize their performance, profit sharing, and other benefits which will motivate them to volunteer to community services rather than it being mandatory. SHS graduates will gain interest in community service only if they will gain benefit when they partake in it. This is because they are preparing for tertiary education, and most of the graduates secure jobs to acquire funds to pursue higher education. If community service are incentivized, SHS graduates will see it as an avenue to prepare them for their tertiary education, and hence it will entice them into partaking in it. To my second point, the chair, making community service mandatory is a threat to productivity and national development. If SHS graduates are mandated to carry out community service, it leads to decrease in productivity. Since individuals who do not have interest in giving out their energy to their communities are also involved in this mandatory assignment, they may exhibit negative work ethics. Negative work ethics is the belief in the non-willingness to apply oneself to a particular firm. Negative work attitude spread like wildfire, creating a toxic work environment. This negativity will breed dissatisfaction and lowers a team morale, resulting in decreased motivation. According to Vaki.ru, dissatisfied workers, that is, workers with low amount of income, are less productive. So making community service mandatory will shift it from being a productivity boost to being a productivity reduction agent. Now, the chair, permit me. I have just two questions for my opponent. Is decrease in productivity part of the ethics of community services? Are community services supposed to retard national development? So if making community service mandatory will lead to all of this, why should it be made so? The chair, from the fact created, it can clearly be seen that making community service mandatory will be a threat to productivity and national development. Finally, the chair, making community service mandatory leads to disproportionate impact. Disproportionate impact refers to a situation where a policy or a practice appears to be neutral but has a negative effect on a particular group of people. Low-income graduates, for instance, may face challenges such as food insecurity and transportation issues. This may, my opponent, to curb this canker, they have to do a lot of things. They may need to secure part-time jobs to support themselves and sometimes their family, since community services are unpayable. This will make it difficult for them to balance community services and working responsibility at the same time. Hey, if they graduate from a well-endowed family, then the whole house, sorry me, praise the Lord. But if the graduate is from a penny quarters family, hey, Asamaranko, this means that the graduate will have to deal with a lot of pressure to prioritize paid work over community service. This will make such students disadvantaged, making community service mandatory to the neglect of considering the side effect on graduates from disadvantaged background will even be a burden onto them. Meanwhile, if it is made optional, individuals who meet the requirement of community service will willingly own up and deliver unquestionable services for the betterment of their communities. Mrs. Beatrice, the chair, please. No amount of too sweet, sugar-coated words in the voice of my naive opponent will make the House discombobulated. After clearly stating my well-constructed point, I need to prove to my impartial panel of judges some points asserted by my opponents, which are, to my first argument, Michael asserted that making community service mandatory will enable individuals to become more active in their communities and develop a sense of social responsibility. A sense of social responsibility, you will say? My opponent, making community service mandatory will lead to resentment rather than genuine engagement. Forcing services may undermine intrinsic motivation, leading to menace. Is this what you call improvement in civic engagement? Then I wonder how you call retrogression. The supporting speaker also raised that making community service mandatory will help individuals to develop new skills. Wow, new skills. Are you real? Please, this is a wrong analogy. In this modern era, if one wants to develop new skills, community service should not be the requirement. There are a lot of skills one can acquire on the internet. Just go on to www.youtube.com and search for, I want to learn how to read, I want to learn public speaking, I want to learn how to fly a plane, and within some seconds, all the tutorials will be delivered at your doorstep. This is a far better than community service, which target a single skill. So the notion that mandatory community service can help one to develop new skills should be debunked. The chair, the House. It is with this that we call on all of the House to join hands with us to mash, squash, and debunk the set motion. Thank you.
The chair, the House. My opponents tried to debunk my motion saying that we limited the entire motion to Ghana. But my opponent, since you defined yourself as an intellectual principal speaker, you should know better because we are standing on a national platform and not on an international platform. Thereby limiting the motion to Ghana is quite logical to do. To you, the ever-wise chairboard and impartial panel of judges, a great timekeeper, debaters, distinguished guests, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I, Michael Owusu Ansam, man this program once again to give the summary of the entire argument raised by my noble subordinate speaker and I, in full justification of the motion, quote-unquote, community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates. The chair, my noble subordinate speaker and I argue that indeed community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates because, one, it is going to help instill a sense of responsibility responsibility into the younger generation. 2, it is going to help us reduce the rate of social vices. 3, it is going to help us solve our sanitation problems. 4, because this initiative had already proven successful in another country. And 5, it is going to help us efficiently use our labor. And my subordinate speaker added that by mandating community service to senior high school students, 1, it is going to instill a sense of patriotism into the young graduate. 2, it is going to lead to a development of new working ethics, which are very, very good. And 3, it is going to prevent brain drain in our economy. Now, the chair, permit me to refute some fallacious assertions made by my opponent. The chair, my opponent argued that because of resentment, if senior high school graduates are incorporated into community services, they are not going to work effectively. But my opponent, let me ask you this question. When you were a junior and your father was sending you to school initially, were you not feeling resentment within you? But once you went to school and you got to know the benefit of school, then was it that you began to like school and also you abolished all the feelings of resentment that was in you? And in a similar manner, if we incorporate them, though initially they will feel resentment, once they get to understand that community service is actually helping themselves, it is going to abolish all these feelings of resentment. And therefore, we cannot condemn the argument based on that. We cannot condemn the motion based on that argument. Point rebuttal number 2, the chair, my opponent argued that it is going to delay your entry to the workforce. The chair, the House, as my supporting speaker said, after enjoying 3 years of free SHS policy, and you're asked to use about 3 months or 6 months to help your community, and you are saying that this is going to delay your workforce. My opponent, please know what you are saying. And again, they also said idleness, it's not the only factor in causing social vices. The chair, the House, they are right to say that idleness is not the only factor causing social vices. We are not saying that idleness is the only factor causing social vices, but you are saying that it is also one of the major factors causing social vices, and therefore, by mandating community service for senior high school graduates, it is going to help break down this factor and thereby reduce the rate of social vices within our community. The chair, the House, my opponents are intent on asking the question, why should it be mandatory? Well, my opponents, let me answer this question for you. It should be mandatory because the government currently needs a workforce in order to engage in the sanitation service. And currently, it is only the senior high school graduates that are lying idle. It should be mandatory because it is going to ensure equitability, since each and everyone is going to engage in the community services, and not only one person is going to engage and the other people to enjoy. The chair, the House, before I resume my seat, let me leave you with this statement. In life, we do not work with people who have a negative mindset, just as my opponent. All their mindset, we are talking about negativity. Let us abolish all this negativity and think positive to help grow our society. Thank you.
The chairperson, panel of judges, both the impartial timekeeper, all protocols junior of them. I'm on this podium once again to give a detailed summary of the points raised by my subordinate speaker and I. In our submission, we stated why community services should not be made mandatory for senior high school graduates. We raised 8 points in support of our stance. 1, mandatory community service for senior high school graduates will undermine volunteerism potential. 2, if these services are made mandatory, it will lead to lack of genuine engagement. 3, making the services mandatory for senior high school graduates will be an infringement on their personal rights and freedoms. 4, making the services mandatory for the senior high school graduates will lead to misled priorities. 5, making these services mandatory will lead to limited flexibilities. 6, when these services are made compulsory for senior high school graduates, it will lead to financial and resource barriers. 7, making these services mandatory for senior high school graduates is a threat to productivity and national development. And finally, 8, making the service mandatory will lead to disproportionate impact. Now, the House, permit me to refute some erroneous assertions made by my opponents. They said if a 13-year-old child is being made to take care of a younger slave or something like that. I won't lie and say I remember the entire statement, but they made an assertion like that. Okay, for that one, your parents won't put a leash around your neck for you to do it. You do it from your own genuine and personal motivation. So that one is not mandatory, but also it is optional. They also mentioned brain drain. Okay, if the services of these graduates are being employed for over 3 months, 4 months, as they said, and they are still unemployed, my friend, they will still leave. So that argument that this one will prevent brain drain does not hold water. They also claim that when these services are made mandatory, how many students will partake in it? Okay, I will. my supporting speaker role, and we the Christians, we will take part in this service. So if you and your Hawaiian brothers are here to say that when it's made compulsory, you won't partake in it, then it is based on your own unpatriotic nature, and you can't use that as a yardstick to justify everyone here. They also made an assertion that cooperation, Ghana cooperates with other international bodies because the policies are inculcated, so they can be the yardstick. Okay, the policies involved in those corporations are benefiting to Ghana, and that's why Ghana is cooperating with them. So if the policies of this service will not help Ghana, then we shouldn't even try to venture it. So please, take time and do your research well. They also made an assertion, he asked a question that when I was at the teller and my parents were sending me to school, I was showing resentfulness, and my friend, I like school. When I was an infant, I like school. So you can't be standing here making based, this place is an international platform. So you can't be standing here making all your points based on assertions and your things. No. This is a professional platform where we don't deal with your personal ideas or your personal skills. They also made an assertion that when these services are made compulsory for senior high school graduates, it won't lead to decrease in productivity because we spent 3 years in school, and so spending 3 months with the government or taking 3 months of our time to support the country, we are not against that one, no. We are not against the 3 months that we are spending with the government. But we are saying that it should be from a free will. That is, it should be from our own personal motivation to do it and do it well, and not to be forced to do it. The chairperson, it is beyond reasonable doubt that my opponents have won the blindfold of disease just to win a single trophy, which they are not even getting. It is with this that we call on the entire House to help us debunk the motion. Thank you.
Listen, at this point in time, you can decide to make some noise if you want to. Contest 7 down. It was between Akateche. Those are students from Opoku Ware School. And Chris Church of Christ students there. Please put your hands together for your debaters. Principal speaker for Opoku Ware School was Owusu and Sam Michael. And supporting speaker was Ose Williams Boateng. One more time, show them some love. For Church of Christ, your principal speaker was, he says Kofi, so a champion Kofi Blessing, and of course, Precious Ekia Owusu was the supporting speaker. The motion was community service should be made mandatory to senior high school graduates, and Opoku Ware School were for the motion. They were supporting of the motion. Of course, against the motion was Church of Christ. For those of you watching us on Facebook on Love 99.5 FM, I've got some great news for you on Facebook. Tell us which school they thought or think is going to win this afternoon's contest. That's contest 7 between Opoku Ware School and Church of Christ. And by simply predicting, they'll tell us that they're interested to go watch the game, and then they get the free tickets. Many of you have gotten the free tickets. We'll be mentioning your name in a bit, just for people to know that it was no fluke, that we promised and we delivered. At this point in time, let's say a big thank you to Naki Publications. Now, are you looking for the very best creative arts, religious, and moral education books for your primary and junior high school students? Naki Publications is your best bet. Now, they also have the Naki Nugget series, which is user-friendly and self-explanatory, especially when it arranges topics, pictures, tools, and materials for your little ones. You can locate Naki Publications at Achuma Boko. Naki Publications, trusted by educators, loved by students, and approved by NACA. Ultimate Land Hub Company Limited is also a proud sponsor of the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debates. Now, Ultimate Land Hub offers litigation-free lands in highly sought-after locations like Shire Hills, that is Eastern Quarry, Pram Central University area, and Dodoa, that's a Forest Hotel, which is a 5 to 10 minutes drive from the main road. Now, they also offer property management, genuine land registration, brokerage, property development, and flexible payment terms. Let's talk about Flora tissue. I don't know what you use to wipe sweat off your face or to even clear your nose when you have a cold. Now, Flora tissue is available. It provides your homes, your schools, your offices, and your cars with a hygienic, absorbent, and affordable option to clean dirt, sweat, makeup, or even mucus. Flora disposable 3-ply handkerchiefs, toilet rolls, multi-purpose towels are all available, plus the table napkins and box tissue. They come in beautiful new packaging such as Flora Joy, Flora Smile, Flora Giant, and Flora Kids. Get Flora tissues from any shop and in traffic. Flora tissues, thank you for making us #1. Patricia has got some comments on social media to share with us. Plus, again, wrap up the first contest for us. Patricia, can you hear me?
Sure, David, I can hear you, and I'm right here at the foyer where we are going to read some comments and also find out from our students here how they have seen the performance of their contestants so far. But let me go straight to social media and specifically Facebook. Esiako Shadrach says, more hits, Owas, show them their stance. Kuhi's guys are with you. Gordon Asamoah says, the principal speaker for Owas has a good voice for becoming a journalist or a news presenter. Imelda Tabi says, hit. Owas, your brothers and Sahusians are waiting for your victory. Ya Fosuhima says, good afternoon all, watching you live from Kote, wishing all the contestants all the best. Erasmus Esando says, Opoku Ware School will win. I want to watch the Black Stars match tonight. Kofi Richmond says he's watching us from Apiedu Kokobeng Unity Junction inside Elysian International School, Kokobeng. Dejoy Amankwa also writes, Presec Bompata is solidly behind Chris Oforitufor Lavetina says, precious, my lady, give it to them. Elisha Blessing says, Chrisek, you guys are too brilliant. And Grace Ajemai Apema Jima says, more fire. Some comments here still. Jeffrey Ado says, Owas all the way. Francie Maru says, Owas all the way. Grace comes with a sticker. Giving a thumbs up sticker, I must say. Kwaku Beko says, Owas, see you next year. Chrisek all the way. And Gordon Asamoah says, the Catholic schools are winning. Evans Adumako says, Owas will win this contest. And he adds this and he says, I also want to watch the Black Stars match. And Jeffrey Ado says, people misusing the word analogy. Evans Adomako gives a heart emoji there. And I'm going to end on this one from Stephen Otuai Champon, who says, Owas all the way, go high. I want to watch the Black Stars match. And I think if you just join us, I must say we are still live here on Joy Prime, Joy Learning, on your multi-TV DJ box. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Love 99.5 FM on radio. Like these comments we've read, you can also keep yours coming. Share with us right now. Use the hashtag LUVFMHSD. We have just seen, like David said, a contest happening between Church of Christ Senior High School and Opoku Ware School. And you remember we spoke to them even before they started. Now we have some students here to tell us how they even want to grade themselves before they get the final results. I'm just going to start off with our students here from Church of Christ Senior High School. I have this beautiful lady here, and what can I read from here? Ewa Aido Patricia. Oh, okay, my namesake. Tell me, how would you rate Owa's performance?
Oh, 50%.
And how would you rate that of your school?
100%.
Why?
Because we did marvelous over there, and looking at what they did, we are not saying they didn't do well, but looking at our performance, everything is exquisite. So there's no need to talk much.
I see. Let me speak to this gentleman also from Church of Christ. Please draw closer to me. Let's have this conversation as well. What would you want to add to what your sister said?
Okay, looking at how we were rebutting their points one after the other, even paved the way for the next stage.
I see. So are you telling us that we are seeing Church of Christ go to the main stage of this competition?
Yes, please, I believe so.
Okay, we'd like to speak to you after everything, okay? So don't go anywhere. Let me speak to the boys from Opoku Ware and also find out from them. He's giving your school a 50% mark. Is that A, B, or C, or D?
I won't answer that one, but since the scores are not outside, she can't just say that she's going to score as 50% based on what she witnessed. And then initially our patron and then the deputy head boy stated that we, the Warriors from the Santa America, we don't talk much, we just show action, and then we've exhibited our actions, and then due to that, I don't think we are the victors at the end of the day.
But what mark would you also give them?
I can't judge them. The judge is the Lord, so we will leave everything in the Lord's hand. Yeah.
Let us know who you are.
I'm Sefa Abdul Rashid, CA1044.
Okay, so that's Abdul. Let me speak to Metepe Henry, also here from Opoku Ware School. What would you want to tell Church of Christ? But then, how would you even rate their performance also?
The performance of Church of Christ, they did well, but then we are not their standards, so maybe they should try harder and come next time. And then what happened here was clearly an example of separating the men from the boys. they are not our size, so they should make it, and then next year we'll see them.
I see. So you've heard the supporters from both schools telling us what they make of each other's performance. In case you just joined us, this is a competition that we do every particular year. This is the 6th edition of the Love FM Pep Student High School Debate happening at the Christian Service University. Of course, they are also part of our collaborators aside the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Ghana Education Service, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Joy Prime, and Joy Learning. And tomorrow we'll be seeing the last contest for the preliminary stage. That's going to be contest 9 and contest 10. And so far we have some schools that have made it to the main stage. Talk of Adventist Senior High School, Opon Memorial Senior High School, Anglican Senior High School, Osei Chichie, Kumasi High School, and St. Hubert Seminary. Yes, when we are done, we'll be taking the contest 2 for today and see which 2 schools will join these 6 schools for the main competition. My name is Patricia Mabonsu. We are taking a quick break. We'll return with contest 2 for the day, and that is going to be between St. Louis Senior High School and Kumasi Academy. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School Debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School Debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, they were less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, they were less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun, and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edudomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to
Christian Service University in Kumasi, where we are having the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High Schools debate. We are live on radio, Love 99.5 FM, and also live on Joy Prime, Joy Learning on your multi-TV DJ box, as well as on Facebook and YouTube. Just gone by was contest 7. We are moving straight to contest 8, which is between St. Louis SHS and Kumasi Academy. Now they are going to argue for and against the motion code. The legal voting age should be reduced to 16 and code. St. Louis is arguing for the motion and Kumasi Academy is arguing against the motion. Briefly, let's speak to their reps also right now and find out from them what the game plan is even before we kickstart. And I have this gentleman here wearing this nice Kumaka shirt. You are live, everybody's watching and listening to you. Tell us your name and what we should expect from your school.
My name is Patricia Peterson. I'm the first deputy boys prefect for the academy.
And what's Kumasi Academy bringing today?
Well, we are bringing a young lioness because male lions don't most of the time go for the hunt. It's the females. And Louis, wait for them because they're going to hunt you down, tell you piece by piece, and break you brick by brick.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the students also from St. Louis here. You heard what he said, sweetheart. What do you want to say to that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to give credit to the previous competition because they did really well. And I'm afraid the kitchen is about to get hotter. Because when a child engages an adult in an argument, the pain is felt in the bones of the child.
And you are?
I'm Nanyele Okuai, the WDS Financial Secretary.
Okay, so from now, let's speak to the patron from St. Louis. Please draw closer to me. Let's have this brief conversation. And you people are saying the kitchen is going to be very hot. Why?
Well, you know, we have been at this for so many years. When you hear the name St. Louis, it sends shivers down your spines. Quality beats don't rattle. The work is on the ground. You will see.
And your name is?
Emil Ameyubo. You can just call me the Right Honorable.
Okay, so from the Right Honorable, let me speak to the patron also from Kumasi Academy. Briefly, what do you want to add, please?
I wish I could say words, but let me say something small. The contest is on the ground. And Kumaka, as you could see, Ekunini Nimdie, we come with passion and with wisdom, and you see it on the ground.
Okay, so we'll be going back to the auditorium very soon, but I would still like to say thank you to the GES, to Chas, of course, to Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and also the ARSRC. My name is Patricia. David, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia. I'm a boom. So a round of applause for Patricia. Oh, show her some love, please. And also show some love to our very good host, our very kind host, the Christian Service University. A round of applause for them as well. The second contest for the day, as you're very much aware, it's going to be between St. Louis Senior High School and Kumasi Academy Senior High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please, all is set. We'd like to say a very big thank you to our supporters. That is Ashanti Regional GES, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, as well as the Ashanti Regional Representative Council. That's Ashanti Regional SRC. We're live on television on Joy Learning, Joy Prime. We're equally live on Facebook. Now, for those of you on Facebook, earlier we mentioned that join us for the very first contest and tell us which school you think is going to win that contest. It was between Opoku Ware School and, of course, the Church of Christ. Now, some people have already won tickets. So if you're listening to us one more time, Erasmus Asante, and of course, Luke Built Institute, Evans Adomako, Stephen Echampong, Kofi Richmond, and Manuel. All of you have won tickets to watch the game this evening, the game between the Black Stars and, of course, the Central African Republic. What you need to do is to send a message, any message whatsoever, to this number, 020-055-7999. I'll take the number again, 020-055-7999. Send a message to that very number, and you receive your e-tickets. It's as simple as that. 020-055-7999. Send a message to that number, and you would quickly receive your e-ticket. Let's say a big thank you to Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, our main sponsor. A big thank you to Jackson University College. Many thanks to Bigo, and not forgetting Cowbell, which of course indeed is our milk, and Christian Service University, our main sponsors for the 2024 edition of the Love FM High School Debate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for contest 2 for the day to begin. St. Louis. St. Louis. St. Louis. Please stand on your feet. At this point in time, we expect you to sing for us your school anthem. Sir Collins is ready. He's going to support you and assist you as you sing for us your school anthem for the second contest of the day to commence. Collins, are you good to go? He says we're good to go. So on 3, 1, 2, go. Well, thank you very much for singing for us a beautiful school anthem, St. Louis Senior High School. And of course, their debaters are Aisha Nasara Mohammed Ziblim, Principal Speaker, and Betty Mesa and Jamison. Please show them some love. There they are. Okay, mounting the podium and about to take their seats. At this point in time, Okunini. 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 Please stand as well. Oh, your uniform looks like a uniform I know somewhere. All right, so they're standing on their feet, the students from Kumasi Academy, and they have the anthem to sing for us. Colito, we're good? All right, he says we are good to go. So like we have been doing all afternoon, on 3, students from Kumasi Academy, you sing for us the school anthem, and then the debate will begin. So if you're ready, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Akunini, indeed, they are students for Kumasi Academy, and they will be facing off St. Louis. Now, at this point in time, with a round of applause, let's welcome their debaters as well. Otenwa Ajiman Lydia and Cindy Efia Damoa. Well, I think it's going to be an all-ladies battle or affair this afternoon, right? For the second contest. Now, as you take your seats, please pay attention. Now, in the earlier contest you were with us, we gave you the ground rules for scoring. We told you that if you were bailed out, you stop speaking or you stop debating. So at this point in time, let's ask our accurate timekeeper to alert us. Now, if you have 3 more minutes to go on your time, and if your time is entirely up, please take that and keep it somewhere safe so you don't get to be deducted some marks. At this point in time, our lady chairperson is also available with us. Please show her some love for me, Mrs. Studios Jackson. Our judges are still seated. So, Madam Jackson, our chairperson, are we good to go? So, the motion, like I said, is the legal voting age should be reduced to 16. The legal voting age should be reduced to 16. St. Louis, you are for the motion. Kumasi Academy, you are against the motion. At this point in time, let's call on the principal speaker for St. Louis, Aisha Nasara Mohammed Ziblim, to start the debate for us.
Jim McGovern, a congressman in the United States, had this to say about the lowering of the voting age to 16, quote and unquote. The decisions we make in Congress today are going to affect the youth of the nation for decades. They deserve a say in our democracy, and that is what this amendment stands for. The chair, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Rising as the principal speaker for the motion, quote and unquote, the legal voting age should be reduced to 16, I am Aisha Nasara Muhammad Ziblim. Now to explain some key terms in the motion. According to oxforddictionary.com, legal means permitted by law. Voting age, according to vocabulary.com, means the age at which one is old enough to cast votes during elections. And according to oxfordlanguages.com, reduce means to lower. Ladies and gentlemen, simply put, the motion means that 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds should be allowed to partake in election processes. Moving on to my first point of submission, the chair. This academic discourse we are engaged in cannot be complete and will not be complete without situating the issues of voting rights in proper perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, during colonial era, the voting rights were given to only privileged few. However, this created a general dissatisfaction and the public outcry to extend the voting rights to the general populace. It is therefore not surprising that through 1916, 1925, 1946, 1969, and 1992, voting ages have been reduced from 24 to 21 to 18. This clearly shows that voting age is not cast in stone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is refreshing to note that the very article in the Constitution, which states 18 as the voting age, is not entrenched in the Constitution. This shows that it is open to amendment, which further supports our argument. Ladies and gentlemen, if voting ages have been lowered in the past due to prevailing circumstances such as literacy and access to a vast array of information, then now, more than ever, 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds should be allowed to partake in election processes. Moving on to my second point, ladies and gentlemen, many bodies support our clarion call for the lowering of the voting age to 16 across the globe. An example is the European Parliament Act titled, quote and unquote, Voting Age for European Elections. According to Recital 17, Article 4, Clause 1 proposes 16 as the legal voting age to avoid discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Youth Rights Association, the British Youth Council, the Electoral Commission of the UK, the European Youth Forum are no mean institutions that are supporting the clarion call to lower the voting ages to 16. The chair, if nations and institutions that are far more advanced and better than us are calling for voting ages to be lowered to 16, shouldn't we do same? My third point, ladies and gentlemen, for which I am in support of the motion, is the contradictory, bias, and lack of careful thought for which the framers of the Constitution barred 16-year-olds from taking part in election processes. The chair, imagine being a 16-year-old who cannot vote during elections. Imagine being a 17-year-old whose voice is not heard during elections according to the laws of the land, but can have consensual sex because of the same laws of the land. Now, the pertinent question I have for you is, which is more grave a responsibility? To have sex, which if unprotected, could lead to STDs or STIs, which may be curable or incurable, and can bring about the introduction of an additional life into this uncertain world. This child would have to be catered for by this 16-year-old mother, fed by this 16-year-old mother, nurtured by this 16-year-old mother, and given access to education by this same 16-year-old mother. Yet you tell me that this 16-year-old mother cannot vote during elections? Ladies and gentlemen, in countries such as the United States of America, 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds are permitted to sit behind wheels and drive. If the lives of these 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds have been entrusted into their hands, and the lives of other drivers on the road who are way above the voting age have been entrusted into the hands of these 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds, what shows that we cannot entrust them to select a good leader for the nation? If this isn't a contradiction, discrimination, or partiality, then I wonder what it is. Panel of judges, my opponent may argue that 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds lack the cognitive and moral maturity to vote, which leads me to my fourth point. Ladies and gentlemen, various researches by renowned psychologists such as Jean Piaget and Steinberg et al. 2009 contradict the thoughts of our opponent. These researchers assess that by the age of 12, children enter the formal operational stage where they think abstractly, reason logically, and plan systematically. It is quite pathetic to suggest that a 16-year-old or 17-year-old with such unimaginable ability to discern and make informed decisions cannot vote during elections. Typical examples are the stories of 12-year-old Vehemence Bamfo, 13-year-old Ruth Ama Jandakwa, and 16-year-old legal luminary Chachu Chikata, who gained admissions into the University of Ghana in October 2019, KNUST in 2019, and the University of Ghana in 1966, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know about my opponents or any of you, but standing here, I am a science student. If at the age of 16 or 17, I am able to put into my head the big formulae in physics and chemistry, in biology, I am able to distinguish between the Felicynophyta, Bryophyta, Zygomycota, Ascomycota, Felicynophyta, Angiospermophyta, Arthropoda, Dictyoptera. If I'm able to distinguish between these, is it a good leader that I cannot distinguish from a bad leader? Ladies and gentlemen, the demands of education, the demands of a university life and education are way weightier to be compared to a simple queuing, collection of ballot paper, biometric verification, thumbnail printing with ink, and casting it into a transparent ballot box. Ladies and gentlemen, for my fifth and final point, some 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds have more knowledge about elections than some adults. Dare I say today that an educated 16-year-old or 17-year-old is more important in decision making than an illiterate 30-year-old or even 50-year-old. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like us all to imagine this scenario. A 16-year-old girl or 17-year-old girl who has been taught way back in basic school the importance of elections and its adverse effects on her life as a citizen, and that 50-year-old woman sitting in the market whose only reason to vote is based on the candidate's religion, ethnicity, physical structure, party affiliations, and so on. According to an article by the National Youth Rights Association, ladies and gentlemen, 16-year-olds show adequate political knowledge due to classes they take in history, government, economics, and even social studies. They score higher in areas relating to civic knowledge than those in their mid-20s. Ladies and gentlemen, lowering of voting age to 16 is not merely an act of inclusion, but an affirmation of our democracy's dynamic essence. 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds, often dismissed as inexperienced, in fact, are at the forefront of contemporary societal issues, ranging from climate change to digital rights. Their lived experiences in this technological era, in this era of rapid technology, equip them with proper perspective to make right and informed decisions. By enfranchising these young citizens, we are not only investing in our democratic future, but also harnessing a rich reservoir in untapped potential. If democracy indeed is a reflection of the people's will, then it must encompass all voices capable of making informed decisions. The future, as always, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to the youth, and it's high time our voices resonate where it matters most. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my opponents may come here talking about lack of knowledge and education, but my dear opponents, we have already shown that these 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds are highly educated and knowledgeable. Even before this contest, Mrs. Theodosia Jackson, the chair, mounted the podium and talked about how Jackson University College is training JHS and SHS students into the field of advanced technology. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear opponents, unless you want to tell me that our junior high schools and senior high schools are filled with students above 18, then you are right. The chair, all protocols duly observed. I rest my case.
In a world filled with complexities and challenges, the proposal of reducing the voting legal age to 16 must take careful consideration. While it is attempting to grant freedoms at such an early age, we must critically examine the potential ramification on societal well-being, individual development, and the overall safety. The beautiful chairperson, before I squash and bless the assertions made by my opponents stated the fact that at the age of 16, the brain is fully developed, and thus he is capable of doing everything in terms of reasoning. So, my ladies, if Ajua Mansa, who is a student, obviously staying with her parents, get the opportunity to involve herself in voting by electing the president, members of parliament, among others, and later go back home for her to be fed, for her school fees to be paid, among others, really? My dear ladies, I have two questions to ask you. Why is the legal voting age at 18? And two, these persons at 16 do not work and pay taxes according to the percentage rise form. So why should these people, together with those who contribute to national development, decide politically on the national issue? My dear, these are the questions I posed you. The ever-wise chair, boarding impartial panel of adjudicators, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, all protocols still observe. Good afternoon. I am Otsinawa Achiman Lydia, the principal speaker, speaking against the motion on board, quote unquote. The legal voting age should be reduced to 16. And also, representing the reputable institution of academicians, Kumasi Academy, the chair. Before I delve in, permit me to expand certain keywords of the motion to the understanding of my vivacious audience. And as I proceed, exhibits shall be tendered in as when needed to back up our claims. According to Wikipedia, 1. Legal. Legal is something relating to or permitted by law. 2. Voting. Voting is a method by which a group of people or such a meeting or an electorate convenes together for the purpose of making a political decision. So we are not talking about electing the class prefect, a dining hall prefect, or a board cleaner, as we do in our schools. This is a national issue. 3 is age, and age is the length of time a person has lived or something has existed. 4, which is the last one, reduce, is to make small in amount, degree, or size. All in all, the chair, the motion simply deposits that persons at age 16 should be allowed by the law to vote, which we are not accepting it. So, my dear, we the Akunini are here to say the legal voting age should not and must not be reduced by 16. And here are my points. Point 1 is, of course, lack of maturity and cognitive method. As you already said, being mature means you can probably respond to adverse situations. And according to an article published by the paradigmtreatment.com, the Dr. Lucy Ngonyen, the executive director, stated that the brain is still under development, and the prefrontal cortex, which performs reasoning, judgment, and also things that are necessities for adults. My dear, the doctor also went on saying that these adults are not fully, their brains are not fully developed. Thus, they make poor decisions and wrong decisions and later regrets for the consequences. The chair of the house, let's take the incident which happened at Chiana Senior High School in the Kasana Nankana West District as a case study. These students insulted the president of Ghana, the first gentleman of the land, and later came apologizing, saying, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know the consequences. We didn't know, we were all influenced by social media. Kakum, from the horse's own mouth, let's watch this video. So this is the instance whereby these students were insulting the president of Ghana. Imagine. These persons are under the age of 18, no.
Minister, please, you must forgive us. President of Ghana, we are begging in the name of God, help us. This is my future, I don't have any.
The chair, I say these persons are immature. Oh yes, immature in the sense that they regret their decisions. So if these persons at 16 regret their decision that they make, my dear, what is the maturity here? Recharge. Point 2 on my list is persons at the age of 16 have limited life experience in terms of politics, hence should not be allowed to vote. Voting itself requires understanding, which comes with age and experience. These persons have not faced real-life challenges like working, paying taxes, and also supporting families. In the percentage-wise form, most 16 years do not pay their taxes, nor work. So the house, if Ajua Mansa I mentioned earlier decides to go to a club party and gets into trouble, the question people ask is, where are your parents? This shows that she is less limited when it comes to life experience. So if she is less limited into these normal issues, what of politics? Voting to be precise. The chair, according to an article published by the www.com, it states that the persons are influenced by their parents, peers, and the social media. So this leads me to my third point. The third point on my list, the chair, is persons at 16 are influenced by social media, peers, and their parents. According to www.annualreviews.org, it stated that parents can do influence their words. With peer influence, the psychologist at Harvard University stated that according to influence, these peers are influenced by their words. The house with social media, according to sentiment.org, it stated that 60% to 78% of these persons at 16 and 17 are easily influenced by social media. According to a report reported by the African.com, it stated that these Ghana are vote in surge buying. On the 28th of December 2023, Ghana was into surge buying. The house, let me ask this question. Have you remembered the incident where delegates in the NPP parliamentary votes elections at Ejoso, these delegates were paid 5,000 Ghana cedis, which is $420? The house, my fellow students, this shows that if these people are influenced by social media and also touch money, if you have given such an amount, my dear, aren't you going to vote? Of course you are going to vote. I can see my opponents nodding their head. Moving to point 4, considering the legal standards, there are 7 countries that have allowed these 16 persons to vote, and these are Brazil, Ecuador, and the rest. Countries that have allowed the 18 years to vote cannot be compared to these persons which have allowed the 16 years to vote. My dear, let me ask you, what is the development of these countries? Demonstration upon demonstrations, corruption, insecurity, among others. This shows that allowing the 16 years to vote is critically not allowed. The house, I move to my last point, which is persons are not allowed to vote since voting is a responsibility. I mean, persons at the age of 16. Voting is a right, and rights and responsibility, as we know, goes hand in hand. The chair, by recognizing voting as a responsibility, the things to acknowledge are 1, staying informed, 2, making informed decision, 3, participating actively, and 4, repeating the process, which all these persons at 16 do not acquire. The House, we must remember that voting is a powerful responsibility. This shapes the future of the country. So if these persons are 16 are allowed to vote, it's going to badly shape the country, which is going to affect the country, the communities, and the nation at large. The House, allow me to make some efficient rebuttals. As my opponent stated, the fact that with academic perspective, my dear, you must really check your research well. In 1957, it was the white Christian man and a landowner. It started at the age of 21, not 24. My dear, don't come and make mistakes here. And he also stated, my dear biological sister, according to the scientific proof, the brain is still under development. And this being under development is the prefrontal cortex, which performs reasoning, judging, and other necessities for the adults. So, what are the importance here? I always say that when Anokunini is talking, there is the importance for you to listen. And as I said in my statement, my dear, my opponent also stated something about maturity. My opponent, do you even understand the word maturity? Obviously you don't. Well, let me hit you up. Wikipedia states that being matured is being fully developed. Since I already said according to the scientific proof, the Bible even affirms our cry. In Philippians chapter 3 verse 16, and I quote, let those of us who are mature think this way, and if anything you think otherwise, God will reveal to us, unquote. So right now, what you need to do is to pray and know the points from where we are talking about. Oh my dear, I think this time you need roses. The House, roses please. The House, as what this, that we urge you all to join in hands in the rising again. Thank you.
The chair, all protocols duly observed. Good day. I am Betty Mensah Enyamsam, the supporting speaker rising for the motion, quote and unquote, the legal voting age should be reduced to 16. I continue from where my principal speaker left off with our set argument, which says lowering the voting age promotes civic engagement. Introducing individuals to the electoral process at a younger age cultivates the habit of voting and political participation in them, which will persist throughout their lives. Now, my opponents may say that 16-year-olds have no interest in politics, that 16 and 17-year-olds are apathetic to the running of the country. Well, this may be hypothetically true, but think of it this way. Why should they care about voting when there are no measures set in place to make them care? The chair. Why should I go to the junction today when I know that the watch seller is coming tomorrow? Why should I wash my hands to eat when there is no food? Why should my opponents use 2 to 3 days to prepare on a motion if our contest was a year away? Chair the House. Why would 16-year-olds, why would 17-year-olds even bother to think about voting now when they know that they have a whole year or a whole 2 years to think about it? Chair, should the voting age be reduced today? When the 40-year-old man in the trotro starts talking about politics and the 16-year-old pipes up, his or her opinion will be considered. Why? Because it is officially known that the 16-year-old is an eligible voter and therefore has fair political knowledge. Panel of judges, our 7 points is that lowering the voting age to 16 will promote democratic inclusivity and representation. The chair, 16 and 17-year-olds are considered bona fide citizens of Ghana. This means that they have certain rights that impose certain responsibilities on them. A 16 or a 17-year-old qualifies to register for a Ghana card. A 16 or a 17-year-old pays taxes. A 16 or a 17-year-old is expected to not only defend the good name of the country, but the constitution at large. And yet still, the 16 or 17-year-old is not given the mandate to choose his or her own leader. If we claim that we are a democratic country where all the views and all the opinions of everybody is heard, then how come 16 and 17-year-olds are not given the right to vote? Let me bring us back to Ghana here. We all know that until an individual turns 18 years of age, he is not an eligible voter because 1, he is not considered an adult, and 2, he or she does not possess a voter's ID card, which is basically a ticket to vote. Consider the scenario. Let me take us back to a few weeks ago when senior high school students were allowed to go home to get our voter's ID cards. Now, at the time, I was 17 years old, just 3 days of turning 18. And I was so excited at the prospect of voting. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, when I went to the registrar's office and I attempted to get my my voter's ID card, they told me that the fact that I wasn't 18 yet meant I wasn't mature enough. The chair, the house, my opponents. Are you trying to tell me that a 3-day gap that I would have obtained, that within a 3-day gap, I would have obtained a sudden boost in my intellectual capacity, which I did not possess before I could simply stamp my thumbprint on a ballot sheet? Panel of judges, if 16-year-olds were not shared in any adult responsibilities, we wouldn't have our 8th point to raise for the motion. Visit homes and you find 16 and 17-year-old caregivers and nannies taking care of younger siblings. Visit shops and you find 16 and 17-year-old cashiers trying to contribute to their family's financial standing. If our opponents care to know, there are 16-year-old inventors and even younger who have patented their inventions, as according to STEMbyDesign.com, published on the 4th of July, 2016. Adid Al-Balushi, an Emirati boy, invented a waterproof prosthetic leg to help his grandfather swim. Also, Jack Thomas Andraka, an American high school student, invented an early detection test for cancer. If you have never had a family member who has been diagnosed with cancer before, you will not know the meaning of this. Jack was only 15 years old when he did this. Now, my opponents, please look us in the face. No, look us all in the face and tell us that giving a 16-year-old to vote, giving a 16-year-old the right to vote in his own country, in his country of birth, in his country of origin, is more important, or is even equivalent to the time set aside, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, used to build a mechanism to find cancers and to eradicate them. Lowering the voting age to 16 is only a drop in the ocean of what 16-year-olds can and must do. Now the chair for my favorite part, rebuttals. Now my opponent said that we are talking about national voting and not classroom voting. My opponents, may I remind you, charity begins at home. Classroom voting, school voting is but a stepping stone to the real deal. What is wrong with a little pre-training before the big game, right? My opponents also said that 16-year-olds are susceptible to influence. My opponents, everyone is susceptible to influence if the situation regards it. And what harm does social media influence really do to us? When adults, when the 18 and above plus are selling their votes for rice, for money, for an olonka of sugar. Also, my opponents said that we are learning from the whites who are already developed. But as our dear husbands already said, Ghana has joined international organizations to learn from them politically, socially, and economically so we can become better. Also, my opponents mentioned Wikipedia as their source. May I remind you, Wikipedia is not a credible source. Do your research better. The chair of the house, I rest my case.
Mary, Mother of God, descend to listen to what your daughters here are saying, that we should allow 16-year-olds who don't even know their left from their right to partake in decisions that would have a long-term effect in our social, political, and economic well-being. The chair, panel of judges, our great timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Cindy Efiadamo, a proud and honorable student of the great and mighty institution of academicians, Kumasi Academy, and I rise strongly as the supporting speaker against the motion, and I quote, the legal voting age should be reduced to 16. To my premier point in the chair, one of the reasons why I'm of the fact that the legal voting age should not be reduced to 16 is that of potential manipulation. So many people worry that young people may be more vulnerable to political exploitation, which is totally true. The chair, look here. If the voting age is to be reduced to 16, then potential consequences may extend beyond politics. For instance, political propaganda may target young voters, causing a polarized effect. The chair, with this, politicians will take advantage, like Honorable Lydia Al-Hassan. She take advantage and engage herself into vote buying. And as we all know, vote buying can be in the form of small things like cash, transfers of money, or food, or even clothing. And as I, a younger Katesia Mesiso, if I send such pleasantries like money, I will be there. Meaning, with little effort by the politician, my vote can be bought. I can feel within my instinct that my coordinators here are planning to buy this. But wait! Supposing a member of parliament is to come here now and decide to give you, your supporting speaker, and my beautiful ladies over here, iPhone 15 Pro Max each, will you say you won't take it? Or is it because you are the daughter of the Holy Father, so you won't take it? My friend, don't deceive yourself for you will. Because some people are even voting for Calipo and t-shirts. How much more iPhone 15s, which will make your pictures very clear, than to say PS5? The chair, according to the Whisper, a Nigerian newspaper, it stated clearly, politicians sharing gifts, money, and a whole lot into local government at the Osun state. The chair, my co-debaters, even the elderly people are selling their votes for goodies. How much more we, the underage? My next point, Chair, the voting age should not be reduced because promoting 16 as a minimum voting age could trigger a debate about the reduction in child protection thresholds. Countries imposes different age thresholds to distinguish between the rights and responsibilities of children from adults. For criminal responsibilities, the right to drink, the right to smoke, drive, or to even get married. Before I continue with my argument, I want to ask my co-debaters this question. My co-debaters, do you know the number of teenage pregnancies and the Sniffy Act exercised by those 18 years we claim to be matured? Or you are just nonchalant of Ghana's economic health? The House. According to Wikipedia, about 60% of the young people around the world cannot even manage their lives as at the age of 18, let alone 16. The chair, we all know that the legal age to have sex in Ghana has been reduced to 16. And as a result, has caused an increment in the rate of social vices. The chair, according to a survey conducted by myjoyonline.com, it showed that the rate of teenage pregnancy has increased from 14% in 2014 to 15% in 2022. The House, I know, we all know the pain when you are being associated with a family whereby your parents can't afford for your needs. It's because of this that these teenage pregnancies were able to result. Also, according to the Center of Behavioral Health Statistics and Qualities also, it stated that the use of drugs is on the rise. It breaks my heart, Chair. It pains me so much to say that currently, as I'm speaking, about 70% of the youth in Ghana, of the young people between the ages of 12 and 17, are at the psychiatric hospitals of Ghana, which my best friend, Popo, is part. Oh, my co-debaters, just saying no to drugs didn't work, and you're here saying blah, 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 which later on you'll be singing black, black, black sheep. Of course, I did not say that all young people are irresponsible, but here lies the case that majority of them are having in their mindset that their parents will take care of them, therefore neglecting the need to be serious. So with this, are you still saying that we should reduce the voting age to 16? Hey, what should we be you? My last point, lack of financial independence is also another reason why the voting age should not be reduced. At 16, many young individuals are still dependent on their parents, which could distract their abilities to make informed decisions. A 16-year-old cannot make a political decision. My co-debaters, I just said a political decision. I'm sorry, because it does not put food on his table. I chanced by a publication on BBC dated 21st February 2014, which stated clearly that many young people are not interested in politics. My co-debaters, I myself am not interested in politics. And if you ask me why, I'm I'm not done even studying my books, and you're here telling me that I should not focus or I should not focus on voting. My friend, my inter-science textbook is there. I'm not done with it. You are telling me I should go and listen to the news. I should go and follow this. I should go and follow that. Which later on, my books, after they are being marked, they will ask me, so what did you learn? Should I go and tell them I learned how to make political decisions, to vote or what? How to vote or what? My co-debaters, please, the chair, my co-debaters, we are not joking here. Voting here requires understanding complex issues which cannot be fully grasped without real-world financial experience. The chair, dependence on others for financial support can lure a 16-year-old into influence from parents, peers, and other authorities, without him making an informed decision. Now, to rebuttals. My co-debaters, you just stated lack of interest in politics. My co-debaters, you said, why should a 16-year-old think about politics, whereby there is some 2-year interval, blah, 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 blah. Please, wait here. We are debating. It's your responsibility here to debate that the legal voting age should be reduced to 16 and not to think about the 2-year interval. But we have to wait for the 2-year interval because it is better to wait for the 2-year interval to make a better decision than to wait now to make a poor decision, which will put this economy, this country into a total mess. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing here, I am 17. This is my right, and this is my left. The chair, the House, I come before you once again to present the summary of the arguments made by my supporting speaker and I in support of the motion. In all, we argued that 1, voting ages have been reduced in the past due to prevailing circumstances that are currently arising. 2, many advanced bodies and institutions far better than us are calling for this brilliant idea. 3, the laws of the land are contradictory and biased by entrusting these 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds to have consensual sex, but not to choose who to speak on their behalf and who to rule over them. 4, researchers by renowned psychologists prove that 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds have the cognitive and moral maturity to vote. 5, some 16-year-olds have more knowledge about elections than some adults. 6, lowering of voting age promotes civic engagement. 7, lowering of voting age promotes democratic inclusivity and representation. 8, some 16-year-olds handle adult responsibilities. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my opponents made mention of the fact that 16-year-olds make decisions and regret them in the end. Please, those present here who are above 18, who are 40 and above, can you beat your chest and say that you haven't made a decision at age 40 that you regretted? Ladies and gentlemen, my opponents came to show us a video, but in the video, did those students mention their age? Did they say they were below 16? Did they say they were 16 or 17? And then my opponents were talking about the fact that 18-year-olds and above, 16-year-olds are influenced by their peers. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear opponents, peer influence has no age limit. At age 50, 60, 70, peer influence is still present. Now, they mentioned that we allow 18 people take bribes, T-shirts, money, and whatnot just to vote. But ladies and gentlemen, when in Ghana have you heard of a 16-year-old or 17-year-old taking bribe to go and vote? They are not even allowed to vote. So those taking the bribes now are the 18-year-olds, the so-called mature ones that you are claiming. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponents also said that the voting age was reduced from 21 to 18. In the end, was it not reduced? My opponents, was it not reduced to 18? And then they also said the brain, they talked about the brain and whatnot. My dear opponents, can you bring evidence of the brain anatomy of a 16-year-old, how it is different, how it differs from the brain anatomy of an 18-year-old who is called mature. And then my opponents also said she brought statistics about 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds in the psychiatric hospital. But ladies and gentlemen, did she bring statistics about the 18-year-olds and above, from 18 to 40, who are known as the mature ones? Did she bring statistics about those ones and the number of them who are in the mental hospital? Ladies and gentlemen, she also said that as a student, as a 16 and 17-year-old, we have nose to read, therefore we cannot think about voting. Let me tell you today that there's a level 400 law student who has lecture notes, but who is expected to go and vote during elections. Is it not the same thing, my dear opponents? And then, ladies and gentlemen, standing here, I am 17, and my sister is in KNUST. She is 21. They talked about dependency. Daddy puts food on my table. Daddy puts food on her table. Mommy clothes me. Mommy clothes her. Mommy feeds me. Mommy feeds her. What is the difference? She is still dependent on her parents, yet she is known to be mature, and I am not, because I am just 17. The chair, the house, I hope my supporting speaker and I have been able to convince you that indeed the voting age should be lowered to 16 for national development. Thank you.
Aisha, you didn't listen to my subordinate speaker well. Well, she said that these persons at 18 years are not able to manage their affairs. So with this 16 years, you are just worsening the case. Please get this fact straight. With the chair, my of young-looking judges, all in sundry, let me summarize our position in this debate. The points my supporting speaker and I made in the rising of the motion is the persons at 16 are not allowed to vote due to lack of maturity and cognitive development. The persons at 16 have limited life experience in terms of politics, hence should not be allowed to vote. 3, the persons at 18 should not be allowed to vote due to influence of parents and peers and social media. 5, persons at age 16 should not be allowed to vote since voting as a responsibility. 6, the legal voting age should not be reduced to 16 due to potential manipulations. 7, the voting age should not be reduced because it could trigger a debate about the reduction in child protection thresholds. 8, the legal voting age should not be reduced to 16 due to lack of financial independence. The chair, at this juncture, permit me to rebut some fallacious statements made by my obstinating opponents. My dear, you mentioned something about accessibility. I always say, pay attention. We never said anything about accessibility. You also said knowledge. Why? Are you sure you are here? As you mind here, please try and listen to us well. My opponent also stated the fact that the brain is developing in teens. So why am I saying this? Let me just hit you up. My ladies, you are now getting what I am saying. Good girls. So as you can see, the reducing of legal voting age down to 16 is you worsening the case. Hey, there is fire on the mountain. Run, run, run. Since you are causing fire, then there is the ability for you to start adopting the skills of a firefighter. My dear, you also stated the fact that voting is a very powerful responsibility. It's not like seeing Amma and Amma is beautiful and Amma is this, so you need to vote. Not the government is from my hometown or this, and this is not a beauty pageantry. Voting is voting, the government. The government is not singing nor class captain nor a family member of yours. My dear, get recharged. And you were asking of the brain, giving facts of the brain from the 18 years and 16 years. Well, according to an article published by the Instant Dots, it states that the brain increases steps by steps. And there is a difference between the brain of a 16-year and the brain of an 18-year. My dear, get recharged. Also, you stated something about social media and the persons at 16 not being matured. My dear, the percentage of persons at 16 who are not working do not respond and cannot work for the ability of voting. The chair, my dear, let's take Africa. I mean Ghana as a specific. My dear, you stated something about the persons assisting in not being into drugs addiction, my dear, let me tell you something. These persons are not free to drive in the country nor drink alcohol. So why have you set your eyes on voting? Why have you set your eyes on voting? Isn't driving luxury? Isn't having driver's license fun? So instead of you to get better on how to get these persons with this straight, you must better work on that, my dear. My opponent also stated the fact that the person at level 400 has the brain and then has facing challenges. My dear, that person is above 18 years. Get that fact straight. The chair, as with this, my opponent also asks if 16 years mothers should vote. The key point here is maturity, not a maturity register. Get serious with that fact. The chair of the house, as with this, we urge you all to join in hands with us as we rise against the motion, quote unquote, the legal voting age should not be reduced to 16. Thank you.
Charlie, you know what? Please do me a favor. Put your hands together one more time for all the debaters for the afternoon. This last contest is the 8th contest for the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate for the year 2024. It's been really, really exciting. Opoku Ware School, first of all, faced off Church of Christ, and just gone by was St. Louis against Kumasi Academy. And you heard from Aisha Nasara Mohammed Ziblim, Principal Speaker for St. Louis, and Betty Mensa Anyamesem, the supporting speaker. Show them some love one more time for me. And then for Kumasi Academy, we heard from Otenwa Ajiman Lydia and Cindy Efia Damwa. One more time, I love showing through them as well. Will be appreciated. As we're just about to wrap up, and for those of you who are with us on Facebook, we've already said to you that you can predict, not the Black Stars game, predict which school is going to win in the contest between St. Louis Senior High School and Kumasi Academy. When you place your prediction on Facebook, go on and tell us that you want to watch the Black Stars game. We're giving out tickets, e-tickets for free. It's on Facebook, so join us there. And of course, you'll get your free ticket as well. At this point in time, I'd like to say a big, big thank you to more of our sponsors. Let me talk about Top Choco. Now, nothing is tastier than Top Choco chocolate spread on bread. Now, the Top Choco comes in various forms. They have the 3-in-1 chocolate drink. It's a delicious chocolate drink that combines the great taste, vitamins, and nutrients of Ghana's finest cocoa, milk, and sugar. Add hot water. You need to also try the Top Choco Cup, which is, of course, a crowd pleaser. Top Choco is available in a shop near you. Top Choco, pure chocolate bliss. Top Choco is chocolate. Now, moving on, let me tell you about Super Lovic phones. Now, for those of you who would want to buy phones, you can buy or order your phones, tablets, and other mobile devices via their Play Store or App Store, and of course, it's on their website. Enjoy a discount of up to 50%. Super Lovic phones gives you a free glass protector with every purchase. Locate them at Asafo. They are opposite the VIP station in Edum, in PZ, Sofa Line Tech Junction, and Keditia between Opportunity Bank and MTN. You can find them there. Now, the Best Brain publications, every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid by their parents. Now, are you a school or a parent looking for quality NACA and GES approved English, science, mathematics, and computing books for your wards? Then Best Brain has got you covered. Now, they produce all the subject books for children at creche, nursery, kindergarten, and primary level. Locate Best Brain publications at Pankrono. Best Brain publications, securing tomorrow's academic well-being today. Let's now say a big thank you to Fortune Low Fat Spread for Bread. And there's a new Fortune in town. Spread me. Now, it's all new Fortune Low Fat Spread for bread. It is yummy and delicious. Spread easily has a creamy taste and is packed with 7 essential vitamins to help keep the little stars energized. Whether on bread, biscuits, corn, toast, or anything in between, Fortune Low Fat Spread for bread is always on point. This advert is FDA approved. Fortune Low Fat Spread for bread, always on point. Now, let's invite Patricia Amabun. So she's got, what people are saying on social media for us to enjoy, plus a few more messages. Patricia?
Definitely, David. I'll be sharing the comments on social media with everybody. But before that, let's say thank you to the Sea Travel Consults who are organizing another captivating, unforgettable, fun, and adventurous experience in Kenya and Dubai. The date is from the 14th of July to the 21st of July 2024. Now, the tour package includes a UAE return ticket, accommodation, and also meals. Now, tax-inclusive tours for couple goes for a cool $1,650, and for single occupancy, you get to pay $1,850. Now, remember that we are the only travel agency that gives you personalized services when it comes to study abroad programs, travel insurance, business conferences, and also vacations. The Sea Travel Consult, they say this is life. Also, we like to say thank you to the Rub Haven. They are your trusted brand for everything personal care. If you want to go get your sauna, your detox, your skin tag removal, your manicure, your pedicure, everything, body scrub, and so much more, go to the Rub Haven today. Now, we work from Tuesdays to Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And from Sundays, we also work from midday to 7 p.m. Now, from today till Father's Day, which is the 16th of June, 2024, take your father or any special male figure in your life. It could be your husband, your grandpa, your uncle, your boyfriend, your fiancé, anybody at all that you find as a special male figure in your life, like I find David to be. I'm taking him out there on Father's Day. Do same. Take the person to the Rub Haven located at Atasumanso, adjacent World Links Academy. The Rub Haven, we say, give us just an hour and we will pamper you. We also like to say thank you to Slim and Fit. Have you put on weight or you are struggling to lose your belly fat after childbirth? Yes, I'm talking to the nursing mothers here. Are you also looking for a weight loss supplement with no side effects? Of course, Slim and Fit is your best choice, okay? That's the ultimate. Now, our products help you shed off your unwanted fat and also maintains your natural, beautiful shape and look. Our products are purely organic, have been approved by the FDA, and also endorsed by Timakunkum and Ohenere Gifty Auntie. Slim and Fit, we say, regain your confidence. And finally, let's say thank you to Daxa Dental, providing us with comprehensive one-stop shop specialist dental services such as extraction, cleaning, polishing, and filling, and as well straightening with specialist braces. Of course, if you had bad breath too, make sure you go to Daxa Dental. We work from Sundays even from 12 noon to 4 p.m. aside working from Mondays, of course, to Saturdays. Locate us at IPT, opposite the gate of Amstead, Mekomia, inside the City Style building, and also at Ahonjo, we are opposite Latex Foam. Daxa Dental, we say what? Smile with confidence. Obiniyem! Obiniyem! I am not feeling the vibe. Who is going home? Sweetheart, please hold my thing for me, okay? Yes, let me get my phone that I bought from Super Lavec and read the comments. Who is ready to go home? Okay, so on social media right now, Gabriel Abezuke says, wow, both schools did well. I really enjoyed the supporting speaker for Church of Christ. Adum Sahine says, the composure of St. Louis supporting speaker is amazing. Manuel says, I want to watch the match, and so I'm going in for Church of Christ. Roberto Don Carlos says, Akata Slopsa, the biggest and strongest alliance so far. That's the comment he puts right there. And we're getting this from Perpetual Asai, who is giving us a fire emoji. Benedict Odro Gershon says, this is a very argumentative motion, and both schools have done justice to it. Anaman Asari says, St. Louis is winning. Please, I would want to watch the Black Stars match. Interesting comments coming there, David, I must say. If you're on Facebook, please drop yours also right now. If you're on YouTube, do same with the hashtag LUVFMHSD, and we'll read it out to the whole wide world. But remember, we are still live on TV, Joy Prime, Joy Learning on your multi-TV DJ box on radio, Love 99.5 FM, as well as social media. David, let's take it from there.
Well, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful auditorium, I want you to put your hands together for your own selves. You've done so well. We say thank you. St. Louis. St. Louis. St. Louis. Akateche. Akateche. Aketeche. I hear you. Now let me say Chrisek. 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 All right. Akunini. 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 Have you enjoyed yourselves this afternoon? You sure you have? So courtesy all the debaters who joined us today, show them some love. A round of applause for all of them. At this point in time, the results are ready. And I'll be sharing them with you, starting with the very first contest that happened not long ago. And the results as I have with me now, I think is a unanimous decision. It's a unanimous decision. That means that all three judges scored for the winning school. And as you're very much aware, the very first contest was between Opoku Ware School and Church of Christ. Now, we told you how the scoring would be, and so that's exactly what I will be announcing. And I started with Opoku Ware School. By way of organization and clarity, Opoku Ware School, one of the judges scored for you 24, another judge scored for you 28, and the third judge scored 28 as well. So 24, 28, 28 amounts to 80. Let's now tackle argument and development. One of the judges scored for you, Opoku Ware School, 23. Second judge scored 27. The third judge scored 25. And let's do the calculation together, shall we? 23, 27, 25. That amounts to 75. Effective use of rebuttal is the next score. Now, one of the judges scored 11. The second judge scored 15. The third judge scored 11. So 11, 15, 11 amounts to 37. Now, by way of presentation style, Opoku Ware School, a judge scored for you 13. The other judge scored 14. The final judge scored 12. 13, 14, 12 is 39. Roll as a particular debater. One of the judges scored 9. The second judge scored 9. The third judge scored 26. So 9, 9, 8 is 26. So let's do the calculation together, shall we? 80 plus 75 plus 37 plus 39 plus 26 amounts to 257 for Opoku Ware School. Church of Christ, your results. Same style. Organization and clarity, a judge scored 25, another scored 26, and yet the other scored 27. 25, 26, 27 amounts to 78. By way of argument and development, one of the judges scored for Church of Christ, 24. The other scored 22, and the other also scored 24. So 24, 22, 24 amounts to 70. Effective use of rebuttal. One judge scored 9, the other scored 6, the final judge scored 10. 9, 6, 10 amounts to 25. Presentation style for Church of Christ. One of the judges scored 13 for you, another scored 11, the other also scored 11. 13, 11, 11 amounts to 35. By way of role as a particular debater, Church of Christ, a judge scored 8, the other scored 8, the final judge scored 7. So 78, 70, 25, 35, 23 amounts to 231. So, like I announced before, by a unanimous decision, Opoku Ware School is advancing to the next stage of this year's edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. Now, I've got good news for you, Church of Christ. Now, the good news for Church of Christ is that we've told you that this is just a preliminary stage of the contest. From Friday, we'll enter the 116th stage of the contest. Now, one thing that is happening in this year's competition is that the school with the highest losing score, can make it to the 116th stage. As we speak, Church of Christ, you are one of the schools with the highest losing score. In fact, you have the highest, because the second highest is the Rich School 1966. So your school has the highest losing score right now. So I cannot stand here and say you're going to make it to the 116th stage. It is possible, because you have the highest losing score so far. Now, Opoku Ware School, if you don't mind, please stand on your feet now. I would like for you to celebrate your victory this afternoon. So one more time, you sing your school anthem. You sing your school anthem, and we'll see you at the 116 stage. Over to you, Opoku Ware School. Congratulations to you, Opoku Ware School. Now, so let me give a bit of clarity on the school that has or may have the best score, although the school lost. We began this competition last Wednesday. It got to a point in time where we had 2 losing schools with the highest marks. We had Olag, Our Lady of Grace, with 226. Then Reed School had 225. Now, because of the scores of our very good friends this afternoon, Church of Christ, you have 231. So Reed School is no more having the highest losing score. The highest losing score is for you, Church of Christ. And of course, Olag, that has 226. So that's for your information. So based on that, most of the time we would have given out certificates for participation at this point in time, but we're not giving it to you because there's a possibility we'll see you in the next stage of the competition. Now, that contest between St. Louis and Kumasi Academy. St. Louis. St. Louis. One more time. St. Louis. Akunini. 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 All right. So because St. Louis, you were for the motion, I would read out your scores first. And again, this one is a unanimous decision. Now, unanimous means that all 3 judges, per their score sheets, shows that this school won. We have a majority. That means 2 out of the 3 judges decided that a school has won. So St. Louis. Organization and clarity, one of the judges scored for you 23. Another judge scored 26. The other also scored 26. So 23, 26, 26 amounts to 75. By way of argument and development, one of the judges scored 22. The other also scored 27. The final judge scored 24. 22, 27, 24 amounts to 73. Let's take a look at the scores for effective use of rebuttal. One of the judges scored for you, St. Louis, 12. The other scored 12. The final judge scored 10. 12, 12, 10 amounts to 34. Now, by way of presentation style, one of the judges scored for you, 12. Interestingly, the second one also scored 12. The third one also scored 12. So 12, 12, 12 amounts to 36. Now, roll as a particular debater. A judge scored 8. Another scored 9. The final judge scored 7, amounting to 24. So 75, 73, 34, 36, 24 for St. Louis amounts to 242. That's for you, St. Louis. And I can see some of you having your pens and your papers and doing your calculations and all. That's good. Kumasi Academy. Organization and clarity. One judge scored 23. The other judge scored 22. The third judge scored 27, amounting to 72. Argument and development. For you, Kumasi Academy. One judge scored 23. The other judge scored 21. The final judge scored 24, amounting to 68. Effective use of rebuttal. One judge scored 9. The other one says, 3. The other one also said 9. So 939 amounts to 21. Presentation style. One judge scored 12. The other one said 10. The final judge scored 10, amounting to 32. That is to say, 12, 10, 10 amounts to 32. The role as a particular debater for you, Kumasi Academy. One of the judges scored 8. The other one scored 7. And then the final judge scored 6. So 72, 68, 21, 32, 21 amounts to 214. So the school that has won the second contest for the day is St. Louis Senior High School. And your certificate will be given to you later. That's Kumasi Academy. But St. Louis, please stand on your feet. Celebrate your victory by singing for us your school anthem. Well, I'm sure they are set. So St. Louis on 3. 1, 2, go. Well, thanks very much for participating in today's contest. For those of you who are watching us live on Facebook, we ask you to do a simple thing for us. Watch us, like our page, and share it for us. And then you tell us which of the schools you think is going to win today's contest. And also tell us if you're interested in watching the Black Stars game, we'll give you some ticket, a free ticket to go watch the game. Earlier we mentioned that Erasmus Asante, Luke Built Institute, Evans Adomako, Stephen Champong, Kofi Richmond, and Manuel have won. Now we can announce to you that Mercy Smith, Dauda Gerasti, Annaman Asare, Emmanuel Adakwa, and Seth Alibia have all won tickets to go watch the game tonight as the Black Stars will play against the Central African Republic. To you, Kumasi Academy, I'll say you give a very good account of yourselves. We're happy that you're part of this contest. Wish you better luck next time. And so to you, Church of Christ, and like I said, Church of Christ, if all goes well, you will make it to the round of 16 that starts on Friday. But for now, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, most especially Pepsodent, and of course to our hosts. We say a big thank you to the Christian Service University, to our ambassador and our chairperson, Mrs. Teresa Jackson. Thanks very much. And to all our judges, OFAG, Mrs. Andrews, Mrs. Bonku. But before we leave this auditorium, Mrs. Jackson, please, a few words from you would not be bad at all. Please show us some love, a round of applause for our ambassador and, of course, our chairperson, Mrs. Teresa Jackson. Meanwhile, to our accurate timekeeper, thanks very much for your support and a great job done. Mommy, over to you.
Hello. This competition started, and this is the 6th edition. And I must say that as we move ahead, it becomes more interesting, very challenging, and you have really showed natural intelligence. And always, I will appreciate the teachers. The teachers here, wave so that we see you. The teachers, all teachers here, I want to see you. They are outside. Oh, students, let us stand and applaud the teachers. You see, always when students are at the front line and they do well, we give them the honor and the glory, but the teachers are always behind them. Let us give them a very big applause. Thank you very much. Don't sit, don't sit. We also want to applaud Love FM and the multimedia group. Let us do better, a better applause to them. And the third one goes to our judges and those who have been running about, the technical team, the photographers, everyone. And then finally to Uncle Dave. Shall we give him a clap? And Opoku Ware Sch. Today I didn't see Becca, but we will clap for all of them. Shall we clap? 1, 2, let's do it this way. Right? Thank you. Sit down. Sit down. Quiet, please. Success is a process. You don't win, and that is the terminal end. So all of you, whether you are coming back to contest or not, move on, because success is a stage where you should fight and move ahead. It's a continuous process. So I wish all of you success, especially those who are about to write your final exams this year. When you write the exams, that's not the end. You may wish to go to a tertiary institution. Don't forget, Christian Service University is there for you. Very good university with the serene. They will welcome you. And Jackson University is also there for you. You will not only learn education, but we will teach you IELTS. In fact, we have helped so many people to go abroad because they excelled in IELTS. I'm even proud to say that one person scored 100% in IELTS, and the institution has won British Council Award for performing so well in IELTS. And earlier on too, I spoke about technology. When it comes that you are on holidays, we will give you information. Those who are interested in technology, we will train you. I've kept my package so quiet. Normally, the school that will excel, I take the students and the teachers through free technology training for a year. Graduation is yet to be done for those who participated last year. Of course, some of them, we invited them. They thought it was the computer typing and so on. They didn't come. But those who really came, they have gained a lot. So when you are invited, I've not given Dave my expectation, what I want to do. I'm waiting to the final end. So I want every school to perform very well so that you can get the opportunity. You clap and the fan will go off. You clap and the fan will come on. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Listen, when you have been addressed like this, I think that we can do better with the applause. You would agree with me. Mommy, thank you so much for your time. Thanks so much for the advice. Thanks so much for the support. At this point in time, I'm sure that Patricia Amabones is on standby with the debaters and patrons. Pat, take it away.
Sure, thank you so much, David. So we have come to the end of Contest 7 and Contest 8 of the preliminary stage of the Love FM Pepsodent High School debate here at the Christian Service University. Opoku Ware School and St. Louis have booked a seat at the main stage of this competition. We're doing this live on radio, Love 99.5 FM on TV, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and also Facebook and YouTube. So if you just can see from your screens here, I have the victors of the day here with me, and of course these are particularly the debaters who stood in for the two schools that have won today, and I'm just going to go briefly and speak to them. Let me start from the gentleman from Opoku Ware. They were in Contest 7, and how are you, Williams?
I'm very good.
I don't see the fact that you have won showing on your face, no smile, nothing, no jubilation. Why? What's happening? Or what? You want the results over 10?
We literally didn't actually see this as a competition, so like getting very happy about this is kind of like going to be an understatement for us. So like we're waiting for the bigger ones. That's what we're going to be excited about. Yes.
I see. And please draw closer. Let me also ask you a couple of questions here. You know that now that you have gotten to the main stage, you are going to meet equally big schools like Presec Bompata, Prempeh College, Asantema Senior High School, and TI Ahmedia. What is the strategy for Opoku Ware?
Okay, so as my patron already said, the men are there for the battle, but victory comes from the Lord. And this same Lord makes us understand in the book of Job that we shall decree and declare a thing, and it is going to shine upon our ways. And based on the power given it to us, we are decreeing and declaring that victory would belong to Opoku Ware School. And as confirmed by our Savior on the cross, it is finished. Nothing else matters.
And what do you want to tell Church of Christ Senior High School?
Okay, since they actually have the chance of qualifying to the next round of the stage, I'm going to tell them to work hard to defeat their next opponents.
Okay, so that's Opoku Ware, and with the explanation of he saying that they have a chance of qualifying, what it means is that when we had the zonal competition, previously we were getting 3 schools to qualify, but this time around we have 5 schools actually qualifying, which made 20. Now these are the contests that we are having. We will need 12 schools to actually go to the main stage. This preliminary stages is going to give us 10, and so what happens is that schools we are going to select are the 2 schools with the highest losing marks. And so do not despair if your school has lost out. Yes, you may be the school that had the highest losing mark, and so you have the chance of getting back into this particular competition. On that note, let me just switch now to the ladies from St. Louis SHS and also find out from them how they are feeling. Nasara, how would you rate your own performance today? Did you think you brought out your A game?
Well, yes, we did okay. We did well. But I feel there's more room for improvement. You see, our last contest, we were actually the school with the highest winning points. And this time, we have handed it over to our husbands. We are just giving them a taste of the cake. We will take it back next time. We will definitely take it back in our next context. So yeah, there's room for improvement, but we have done well, and then we congratulate ourselves.
Okay, let me speak to Betty briefly. Betty, draw closer to me here, and also share something with us. What do you want to tell Kumasi Academy?
Well, they did really well. I adore their principal speaker. But I'd also like to tell them that if we got the opportunity to go against them again, we'll take them out once more.
Okay, so that's saying that they are still ready for Kumasi Academy anytime, any day. Wherever you watch us from, we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us on Joy Prime and Joy Learning on your multi-TV DJ box, listening to us on Radio Love 99.5 FM, and also watching us on our Facebook and our YouTube page. Appreciate the comments that you keep there. So keep the conversation happening with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors and also our collaborators, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Ghana Education Service, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Christian Service University, of course, Joy Time and Joy Learning. And so from all of us here in Kumasi, we like to say join us tomorrow for another exciting moment here on the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High Schools Debate. Remember that the Love FM High Schools Debate, we are trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. My name is Patricia Bosu. See you tomorrow. And what do we say, guys? Bye-bye for now.
So the house, my opponents are here, solely blaming chiefs. All these ignorant minders are alluding that the land belongs to them. Therefore, they shall do whatever they want with it. They even have the guts to tell the president, Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, that he can do nothing to stop them. So you see, these youths are clearly oblivious.
The biggest debate competition for senior high schools in Ghana is about to roll on radio, online, and on TV. Which school are you rooting for? And which side do you represent? For or against the motion?
Stay glued to your superstation.